All right, welcome everybody to Rustoria's Base Invaders, presented, of course, or sponsored by Rusty Pot. I'm James Jamerson Lee, and joining me, helping me break down all the action, I've got Sushi. Sushi, everyone at home, what can they be expecting today?
Expecting, honestly, with these teams, you guys are going to be expecting a whole heap of action. If we have a look on the map, you're going to be able to see we have a cluster up here near water treatment. I'm expecting every single one of these teams up here to be, PvPing in that water treatment, trying to lock down that place. We have a look over here where we currently are, near Dome. We've also got another cluster of bases here. Expecting more action, more raids.
This is a very interesting kind of breakdown. I mean, we expect some clusters, but in the center of the map, there's a lot of kind of spread out teams. And this is interesting because this is the second week, I believe, where we've reactivated the hard point. And we got to see some teams last week around actually putting some focus on the hard point. Could you explain the hard point to some newer viewers at home?
So for those of you who have not seen our hard points before, hard point is basically a little area on the map where you and your team can sit and gain points over a period of time. Now you've got to hold this for as long as you can. Majority of your team, more or less. Word I'm looking for here. Sorry. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the more members of your team you have in this hard point, will. I can't think of the word, dude.
Accrue you?
You can't get it. I'm sorry. I can't
have more control.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, right now we do have some fighting over it. It looks like one player of Kivalda is in here, but 3 members now converging from Gumkama. We've got 1 player as well from HQM. That's going to be Bonaqua coming to challenge it right now. And this is interesting. I don't know if maybe there were some changes made to how close you can base up, but in the past or even in Trust and Rust, you got to see some teams basically built on top of here. But now everyone's giving themselves like a pretty good wide berth around this hard point.
Yeah, they are. And honestly, we just seen that, but Bon Aqua just got absolutely beamed. He got clapped. This guy, by the way, Bon Aqua, you did mention where you were talking about him before. This guy is a good player when he's in a team, when he's got people here. And here, this is a prime example, by the way. We've got Gum Karma now here on the hard point. So this means that they control the hard point. They have the most members currently. So they'll be controlling this hard point and getting points for their team. As you can see, they're already first place here with 6 points.
Yeah, they're bringing a 4th member around as well. And this is the attack phase of Base Invaders. So there are multiple ways that you can be gaining points during the attack phase. You can, of course, get PvP kills, the hard point like we just talked about, but we also have some objectives on the map that will be coming up.
We do. That is a first for me hearing. But
well,
I'm looking forward to it.
You got the patrol helicopter coming around, as well as the other crates that you can get throughout the attack phase to get yourself some additional points.
Ah, right, our favorites. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard anyone refer to them as objectives.
I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? Like the first 20 minutes of attack phase, you're having fun, you're running around with your pals, right? Ooh, he's not having fun. Double peeking onto a new team that just ended up showing up. That's gonna be Big Kahuna here with 4 members. Looks like they'll be able to get the res off that trade. Doughboy Davis is able to win out on 1 more. Now the patrol helicopter, the first one goes down. Killing the patrol helicopter, I don't believe gives you points, correct? It's all about the crates.
It's all about the crates, yes. It is 3 points per crate for a total of 15.
Yeah, and it looks like it was Gorditos here, and they're setting up early on. They've even got the extra beds down here. We'll see if maybe they got some walls down for themselves. If we could take a look at the map for just a second to see if there's any other bases maybe that can come around to try and contest this. It looks like maybe one team can contest them forward, or maybe someone flies over to try and go for these 15 points.
To be fair, it's a little way out of the map. I could not see any team really coming out here. Maybe the M10 team, but yeah, it's so far out of everyone's way. I don't think anyone's going to really come and contest this. They really took this down in such a good spot. Seems like it was planned, since, it is way out of the way on the right side of the map.
Yeah, they've even cleared the LZ. Look at that. They've set themselves up the walls all around the perimeter and everything. They are not taking any chances whatsoever. And I'm glad that they were able to get the bags down here because, yeah, it doesn't look like there are any bases for them. I don't know exactly where Gorditos are spawned out, but oh, nope, never mind. I was hoping for a counter. But it's just going to be another heli coming over from the Gordito squad. So, yeah, they're actually committing all their players onto here. I'm kind of surprised because, typically here in the attack phase, a lot of teams are kind of scouting out other bases and starting to see if they can get inside of compounds.
Yeah, they are. Look, for the most part, with these players in Base Invaders, like they're all smart in their own ways. Some people don't even need to be scouting bases. Like a lot of regulars here, they if they know whose base it is, they don't have to scout it because they have the general idea of their base layout. Newer players like we were seeing earlier during the build phase, players like those guys are going to need a little bit more of an edge and would be the ones that you'd be seeing scouting out here.
Yeah,
I'm actually seriously surprised that there is not more PvP happening. To be honest with you.
yeah, we can keep an eye on the kills so far, and we do have HQM and Goomkama. Those were 2 squads that were fighting over the hard point along with Kivalda. And between them, yeah, maybe about 30 points. So it's hard to tell how many of those points are from the hard point and how many is from the PvP around that.
Yeah, that is true. Would we be able to get ourselves situated maybe over the hard point again, see who's there? We could look elsewhere. You can see there's 3 crates here in the hard point, by the way, that these guys can be obtaining for an extra. I believe these are 5 points. I could be wrong. It could be 3 points from memory. But these here are just additional points for the teams. And honestly, it looks like Gum Karma has this on lockdown. They've got the majority of players here. Is that Kovalda? He's still sitting here on the edge of the hard point, trying his hardest to stay hidden. Maybe he's waiting for, yeah, that was about to say, maybe he's waiting for his teammates to come over. HQM's having a little bit of time there in the background, you know, they're fighting someone.
Yes, looks like maybe someone's roof camping here. You can see one member of HQM shooting up pretty high onto the big Kahuna squad over there. And now we do have a lot of the HQM members, actually. All 5 or 6 members making their way on over. Gumkama in a small little scuffle over here on the hard point. And it looks like we're able to get kills here, trying to force them out. So it's going to be Gumkama now, putting themselves in second place with control of the hard point. It's going to be the boys, though, in first place with 21 points.
Yeah, these guys are going hard on their kills right now. I don't know where the boys are PvPing. I would have to assume that they are up at water treatment and as many kills as they can. Gum Karma, honestly, if they hold down this hard point, they get those 3 crates. That could easily put them in first place. Easily, without a doubt. But honestly, with all these players coming in here, all these teams circling on the hard point, I feel like it's only a matter of time before Gum Karma gets kicked out of here. There's only, what, 5 members here of their team on the hard point right now. HQM would probably be tying this out if they get here and managing to hold off, you know, Kavalda, you know, Big Kahuna. And I didn't even see the other team there that was sneaking up behind these guys.
I believe it was the Gordino squad, and that was the squad that ended up taking down Hellion. So they never mind. I
They're
thought I saw
gone.
more details. There is one player there. They might have been wiped out. Gumkama was actually almost in a scary spot, right? You have HQM pushing into the hard point and another team coming out, but it looks like just because of the PvP around the hard points, Gumkama are just getting some free points. But at this juncture, it looks like they might not quite have the numbers. HQM are showing up in force.
Yeah, that is right. It actually seems like they have HQM has control of this hard point. I think there's only 2 members of Gumkama that are here still. Yep. So this sucks for them. I think everyone's attention while everyone was pushing this was just sort of split between all the different teams, and that might have been the downfall of Gumkama right now.
Yeah, we still have 20 minutes left here in the attack phase, so there's two more patrol helicopters that will be spawning throughout all of this. Right now, as we're waiting for those the patrol helicopters, everyone's putting the focus on where to get the points. And, well, if people are fighting over the hard point, you should at least show up for the PvP. The boys now up to 28, so still wondering what's going on over there. But for HQM, who, we're one of the first squads to try and show up and contest this hard points. Looks like they might have lost control as Big Kahuna are showing up. Gumkama coming in for their secondary attack, basically, on to this objective.
That they are. Now, HQM, by the way, is a team of favorites. These guys, we can see here that Joker and Eclipse, right? 2 of Base Invaders' most favorited players. I've run a poll on Twitter, and for those that, you know, for Base Invaders that do follow me, these guys voted that Eclipse and Joker were among the top, like, 20 best players of our tournaments. These guys are very skilled. Their team is very, like, they work together so well. And honestly, I don't know, we'll have to show you some clips of these guys, but I'm going to show you the skill that these guys can have in clutch moments and clutch situations is absolutely incredible. I've seen these guys clutch in our 12v12s, literally like 2v12s. These guys are absolutely insane. The fact that they've pretty much for their team taken over this hard point is, you know, it's not that surprising, but it's, you know, amazing feat to do as 2 people.
Well, it's 6v6 this time around, so it's half the team size, but hopefully that doesn't mean half the opportunities. It might actually mean double at that point, because we know when it gets to some of the smaller team sizes, it's much more important to be able to play your life and basically stay alive. So we'll see. I mean, that's what I love about Rust, right? It's just like depending on like team sizes and stuff, like every engagement is just completely different, and the weight and importance of your life just completely changes. When you do have those bigger team squad sizes, when you have 8-mans, 12-mans, you have some lenience, right? You just need to kind of play your life for a little bit longer, wait for someone to respawn, come in, and then create an opening for you. But when it comes down to the smaller team fights, right, you have to be able to make those plays. So right now, though, it looks like Kavalda were able to take away control over the hard point. They are starting to come back up on the leaderboard, currently in 7th place with 15 points around all of this as well. The second patrol helicopter has spawned, but has not been taken out quite yet.
I'm hoping that it is taken out elsewhere and not in Q10, because that, as we've seen here in chat, Lane's just said to us that taking the heli out in the, you know, in a corner of the map where there's no one, there's no PvP points there to be coming from that as well. Um, could we, by chance, head on up to water treatment? I want to see what's happening up here. We've got a crate up here. We've got our teams here fighting. This is
Uh,
FX, always in the middle.
can we talk about FX's compound real quick?
Yeah.
Boys, my boys, what happened here?
Why are all their furnaces on the outside? Okay, I've never, ever trash talked FX for their base builds, but what the hell is this?
I I don't know, like maybe the truck spawn kind of like
Oh, maybe.
disrupted them and
Oh,
it
dude,
didn't
yeah.
despawn in time for them to be able to build around. But I feel like, they would have built the compound a little bit closer to it to realize that a little bit too late, and then someone didn't, I don't know. They needed to, maybe they ran out of stone? How does that happen? I
Yeah,
mean, I
I've
love the
got.
base design, but the compound design, of course, leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, especially since they're not going to be making any more metal frags or sulfur anytime soon. All their furnaces are on the outside. That's free range right there.
I
Wow,
can see
that
the
truck.
thumbnail right now. This clan left their furnaces outside of their compound. Profit.
How I profited in base invaders.
All right, so it's got Team VJ, we got Dolg, we got FXX, and I believe one other squad here, and it's going to be Team Koi. But it's largely silent over here right now. We did have a few shots when he first joined on, but I mean, it doesn't look like too much action at all. And all these teams are pretty much on the bottom side of the kill feed, or excuse me, of the leaderboard. You can see FXX only had the 5 points, Dog has 4, and Koi has 9. So they need to start getting involved in the action right now because, again, some of these spreads in terms of points, like if you can take a look at Alton and Boys, they both of those squads almost at 40 points. That's almost a TC lead they have. Second patrol helicopter going down. That's going to be the Boys taking it.
Sure is, dude. I was about to say these guys have been pretty neck and neck with Alton. I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been within the fifth place, like with the top 5 players right now. And the fact that they have the heli, and these points, that's going to be like 15 points to them if they get it. And look at all the PvP points they're going to be getting here. Like Gorditos, I'm going to go off on a whim here and say that one of them is going to die. There it is. One of them is
Yeah.
dead. The other one
Kai,
is he's going to
yeah.
take a capybara. Sorry.
Kaid had a nice little spray down there, and he does have the walls down. This is the difficult part for the boys, though. They do have a base right there. You can see ping diff is starting to run out. So if they end up getting overrun, it could be a little bit scary. But the fact that Kai was able to hold things down and put a little bit of fear into the Gordito squad there. Unfortunately for him, he was never actually able to complete the kill onto Capybara. It looks like they were able to get him back on up. So Gordito still have some presence, but these crates should be extinguishing soon. And the boys now, they need to worry. Take a look at Mango. He's trying to hold it down. Basically 5v1 over there on the south side of that point.
Yeah, Mango's a really good player. I don't know if you've seen this guy in your past casts here. Oh, Kazu's on their way over here now. But Mango is a really strong and very competitive player. This guy is pretty much on par with the players I was mentioning earlier. Honestly, just
Oh
seeing
no.
Kazu coming in here now to try and counter this. This is all their team, but looks there's 5 players, 4 players.
Running up
I
on
can't count.
Gorditos from behind as well. I didn't even hear them. What happened, Gorditos? They didn't see the scrap heli coming up from behind. Kaz, who ends up showing up for this patrol helicopter right now. And like you said, yeah, it's basically the entire squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe the pilot's still inside, making sure that they're ready for a quick dust off. No, so they just brought 5 members over here. Maybe the 6th is back at base, but it looked like this might have been a bit more than the boys can handle, as we do have the crate starting to unlock right now.
Yeah, the crates are starting to go out. The boys' team has dwindled in numbers. We can see that Kai is already down. I don't know if you can see that, but they got taken out by Ping Diff. We can see White X is trying his best to sort of hold the heli. You've got Mango still focused on the rest of Ping Diff. This is, yeah, a really precarious situation they've got themselves in right now. I think Kaz has the best chance here at getting these crates and these 15 points.
Wait,
It all just
Kai
comes down to
Kaid
Oh,
actually wins
Kaite's
his
up.
duels. Yeah. He's still up. So someone actually tried to push him. He ended up taking him down. Boys now throughout all the action. Look at White. He's getting all the loot for free. And what looked like should have been, Kaz Who's time to kind of shine. He slowed down a little bit on the action. Kaid holds it down. And that just means a lot of points coming towards for the boys. But that does not mean they take the lead quite yet. HQM are still in first place this time around with 58 points to the 57 of the boys.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I got so confused because how is Kaite up? I seen them down. Did he? He must. I don't know. He got some like RNG right there. I'm sorry. That's what I've been stuck on for this entire time. You can see White X, by the way. He's got 3 of the 5 crates. We're still waiting for the other 2. I'm going to assume that the other 2 crates are like not visibly on fire, but it's still on fire for the guy. Unless he is more focused on the PvP points right now and trying to support his boys. You can see, Dwayne's pushing in here. Mango's already pushed into Ping Diff's walls. You can see Valeria's up there as well. Kaz, who even behind them too. Wow, where did they come from? When did they rotate?
I think they might just have the tags down, and they're like, "We need to get back here. We need to get some revenge at this point." They took 5 of our AK kits. We need to get back. But yeah, it's gonna be the boys taking all of it, and with that, the lead finally, actually ringing that one away from HQM. They're at 64. We do have one more patrol helicopter coming up right now. As again, I'm just so surprised by some of the other teams. I mean, if you take a look at the bottom of the leaderboard, we were just maybe 2 minutes ago saying there was a 40-point difference between them. Now it's up to 60 points.
Yes, yeah, 61 points between, well, 62 now, heading in from from the boys to SWMG. I didn't even see these guys on the map earlier. This is very interesting to say the least, though. With these boys, honestly, the top 5 teams. I've got a question, by the way. Who do you think? Who's your pick for the team to win this tournament? I asked this, well, it's throughout the event, but I feel like I should start asking at the start. See if we can get like a bet going.
Right now, they're not in the top 5. I've only done 3 of these events so far, right? So I'm still getting kind of acclimated to who a lot of these players are. In the past, though, I've seen some really good things out of Too Good, which is one squad that I'm looking forward to seeing. And especially with their position on the map right now, they have, I believe, like 3 squads kind of around them. And Too Good was a squad that, in the past, from what I was able to cast, they're able to really snowball some of the early raids and kind of build up a lead early on. So 10 minutes, until the actual raid phase goes down, that's what I'm looking forward to. So that's the squad that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And speaking of, they've actually propelled themselves up to the top 5 right now, but still, they're basically at half the points of our current leaders, the boys.
That can all change in the raid phase because the raid phase is so unpredictable. I've seen players that are literally last place jump their way into the top 5 in the raid phase. 40 points at TC, you're getting PvP points. You could also be getting raid defense points, which also equal up to 40, from memory. We just had a look at Gordito's base, by the way. What did you think of it?
Uh, it's not as chunky, right? And I can understand it when it comes to 6v6s, right? Like, because maybe you need a little bit more. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
mean, this is a nice base design overall. It looks like, yeah, it's going to be triangles all the way through. So you have to imagine this is going to be just hallways and hallways upon doors. This is meant to just kind of burn down the time. But the simple fact that they don't have a compound is probably one of the scarier things. And yeah, VGA were able to note that. And with 10 minutes to go, they are starting to actually make their intentions known. Hey, what are your intentions with my daughter? Well, right here for VGA, it's to absolutely destroy the maze. So SWMG need to somehow get some presence back because they don't even have roof access currently.
Dude, they're taking this guy's daughter out to dinner and then just absolutely decimating for dessert, bro. That's what's gonna happen in this base. We did figure out, by the way, where SWMG live. This is honestly a base more for the vanilla side of Rust. And like you said, I feel like looking at a base like this with, especially without a compound, is like looking at a turtle without a shell. The compound to me is everything in these like base invader tournaments. It's like your protection before you're exposed to the world and absolutely
Yeah,
whittled down.
that's completely valid because right, when a lot of the times, right, when people decide to go for the raid, I think some of the less experienced teams here in Base Invaders will maybe like take out one compound wall, right? The more experienced ones will take out 2, 3 compound walls so that they're not forced into as much of a funnel if they end up dying and having to actually push back into that base. So just not having the compound alone basically negates a choke point on the run back. Basically, when you're trying to go for the raid. Taking a look at this squad right now, though, looks like yeah, actually, have their sights set. They've got the shooting floor controlled right now. And this is not a position you want to be in. With only 7, 8 minutes left here in the attack phase before we head into the raid phase, losing control of your roof, losing control of your shooting floor, that is a terrible sign.
That is probably one of the worst things that could happen. I feel bad for Team Rot. It doesn't seem like they have any like decent PvPers on their team. They definitely don't have any base control whatsoever because, as you were saying, you lose that shooting floor. You've lost control of the outside of your compound. If it's got inner peaks, you've lost pretty much all control. The shooting floor to me, and to a lot of other players too. Did he just miss the base, by the way? Did he like?
I mean, he comes back on the milli. I don't know if he was maybe trying to, yeah, maybe try to hit someone on the roof with it. But an attempt was made, and things are looking really bad because people are spawning on their outside bags to run in. I don't know if they've got stashes down or something, and they're trying to make a play from the outside, or if they're just completely on timer.
I think they're completely on timer from inside of their base, honestly. Seeing how far away they're spawning, it seems like that's the case, and that is terrible for them. Did someone just go down?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. So yeah, we had some members of on the roof right now, but it looks like Rot actually might have been able to take back a little bit more control. So no one's inside the shooting floor for anymore. That was cleared out. It looks like it was Kipurian who was able to do that for the squad. So pretty clutch play for him. There is still one player of up top, but it's looking much more doable for Ra to try and get rid of these guys before the raid phase starts up. But I imagine for Ra, if they can, or excuse me, if they can maintain the roof control, maybe get a heli in onto the roof, they'll start raiding in 5 short minutes.
I'm thinking that might be the plan, but I just said that Rot doesn't seem like they have any capable PvP players, and I just got showed off. The fact that Kakoran wiped that shooting floor of 2, maybe 3 players, including the couple that were on the roof. I'm pretty sure there was only one in the shooting floor from memory there, but he took out most of who's on the roof. Wizard being the only member on this roof, dude.
Yeah.
Anything could change in 5
player
minutes.
on the roof, 2 players in the compound right now. So it's not completely safe for Rot. They still need to get out there. They still need to try and get rid of him at the very least, and then they can kind of clear out the base top down. But it looks like there might be a little bit more fear. The Rot members, we have to remember, you can see Mikey even running back all the way from launch site as well. So the back timers are kind of punishing them at this point. And oh, there it is. Wizard goes down, and now he's just praying, please let me get back up. Please let me get back up. They do have the ladders to get up there, and it looks like one of the members that were in the compound will go up to try and get him back. But that does leave him in a risky spot. Oh, it was someone outside the compound coming in for that one. But yeah, they will be able to get him back on up. So
they won't be because he's dead. Wizard was the only person that got taken out there. I think that was their main goal, was getting rid of that third player. So now there's only 2. Sorry, my bad. There's 3 of them now again here in the compound. So I guess the trade off, 1 for 1.
Yeah, they've got the bags down, and it looked like we did see earlier, right by the compound gate, that there was a spot that you can kind of just maybe climb in. Rot members running back from the outside. Concerned is not concerned whatsoever. There we go, able to deal with that, and Wizard is back. So now looks like the full team of is just ready for this. They're just trying to full control.
Yeah, they want this raid that bad that they're back here taking out all the Rot members again. Putting them on bag timer gives them a big advantage here. Like, if you're going into the raid phase with a bag timer, that is like, what, a minute, 2 minutes that you're not at your base defending, and that's, 1, 2 minutes of time that it takes for them to get into your base. It's just, 1, 2 minutes deeper. I'm kind of
I
looking
don't.
forward to see how this goes because, like you said, there's that huge gap between that wall and the fence on the other side that I actually didn't even notice was big enough to jump through.
I'm wondering. It doesn't look like anyone has rockets on them, right? So if they just have C4, or if they're planning to like fly over boom. But with 3 minutes, someone has to go back and start bringing in actually the raid stuff. But the simple fact that they have full control basically over this base right now, excuse me, are stuck inside. Take a look at that. There's 3 members at half HP. Do they just not have meds made or anything? Like, what is going on?
Not enough time to craft anything if you're getting roof camped, base camped. Probably
I think
dying
that's
with
like
the
also like one
resources.
problem, right? Like with like base invaders, that a lot of times because of like how you set up like your loot rooms or like your bedrooms and stuff like that, you don't know where everything is. So you're just kind of struggling to figure out like where are our meds? Where are our kits? You know?
I can only imagine the comms right now. These guys are probably fuming. Oh, is it? Oh, I thought they were dropping stuff down. I thought Rot was giving up, dropping loot to them.
Wait, did I
No, it looks.
just was that oh my god, yeah, that is he did I don't think he even had to like jump out of that one. He just kind of like
He
breezed
just
on
walks.
through.
He just skipped through it. I just
Yeah.
imagine having a skipping rope.
It
Skipping
looks
through it.
like that they were able to actually funnel some of that loot out. So yeah, they're basically gonna starve this team out. Like this is, for all intents and purposes, a siege. They are completely starving out the Rot members. Not only are they putting them on timers, they're taking away their loot. They've set up the raid platform in one person. Yep, we're able to fly over the boom, it looks like, and they will start booming. And this might be the first TC take within the first minute of the raid phase.
We can only hope. I mean, I'm always curious as who's the first to go. Now we could think, we could say this base is the first to go, but my bet's on SWMG,
Oh yeah, I
with
forgot
their
about that one.
compoundless base.
Compoundless base. They're just full control. VGA. Oh man. There we go. We've got what, two members of SWMG online, basically. But oh boy, it's gonna be a race. Who's gonna take the first TC? But yeah, you're absolutely right. It probably is gonna be this one. We haven't taken a look at the inside of the base, but a lot of teams like to try and kind of set up the advent calendars to try and hide their TCs, but I don't even know if they're gonna even be able to do that. I don't even know if they've got doors down on the inside quite yet.
I would take a guess and say that they do, but judging by the roof, I'm also inclined to say that they don't. Because there's nothing on the roof, man. I
Yeah, I'm
feel
wondering if those
like
are supposed to be like bedroom spawns and they just never got it finished. You have to remember that you cannot continue your building into the attack phase. What you have is what you have. So here we go. 10 more seconds remaining. And when it gets down to 5 seconds or 4 seconds, somewhere around there, that's when we start seeing the TC fly.
exactly. You can
Oh,
already hear the C4s being started to get placed on. I think that they're going for his top, like straight down, straight to the core. Hard points have been disabled. We've headed into the raid phase now, with the boys getting an additional 10 points for being in the lead, bringing them up to 109 and into first place.
yeah. And so
Sorry, further.
SWMG, we're not expecting them to get many points here. We'll see maybe on the defense, but that's a 100-point lead that the boys had over our 20th place squad. Basically, with what they were able to accomplish there. We do have some garage doors down, but hey, we've got the boom, we've got the C4s down here coming out for that splash damage, and there's just no defense. It's just gonna be a complete top down, possibly coming up for them.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna be honest with you. I was under the full assumption that there was no doors in here and was expecting to see an open core. But, looking at this, I feel like all this time spent sitting inside their base was just, spent putting doors and garage doors on here, fortifying the core of their base, to try and prolong the inevitability of their TC being taken. Okay, okay, right, yeah, screw Sushi today. This is open core. Only one player in here able to defend. This is all their loot, so this is pretty much them done. They're kitless. They've now, lost pretty much everything. I think there's no more beds or bags in here.
Oh,
I lied. X-Trans in
wait,
here on a
turret maybe?
bag? No,
Turret maybe? Oh no, it's a player. Yeah, okay. So We have some defense coming out, but I don't know if you really want to rely upon garage doors for these because it's so difficult to try and get the jump on a player when they're inside of your base with the garage doors. Swinging with that is not quite the same as
So
just having a single door to be able to swing on.
yeah, it's not optimal. I mean, it opens so slow. Even a double door would be more viable to use to peek than a garage door. But we're gonna head on over here to Yair's raid on Rot Space. I don't know why I said dot. He could. Oh, they're already in here. Wizard is not shooting him. Why?
So he's I believe just trying to wait for that PvP kill. Just, max efficiency in points, but you do have to worry. You never know. Maybe someone just picks up the AK and gets the double. Yeah, he's not even going to give that player an opportunity whatsoever, opening the door up for him. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to make some short work here. You can see Rot needed to get out. There were small moments where there was an opportunity for them to possibly gain control of their base, but it's just the full control that was coming up from the fact that they were able to put basically the entire team on timer, that's all needed. But of course, they also were able to take advantage of the fact that there was a massive gap in the defenses of the base. And what? They have completely cored this thing.
He's open, dude. Oh god. Wow, they got like one door deep and they're already in. Wow. That is.
I'm deep. Push it.
Dude, he's full deep. No, what are these inner peaks? Since when do you put concrete barricades in inner peaks? What?
I mean, I didn't even know that was possible. I mean, I've never tried, so at least, props to him for just at least testing that.
I know why he's done that, because you can jump up through. Okay, so there's gaps here that you can jump up. The player will be able to get up through the gaps in the shooting pool. That's why he's placed them there. Wow.
Yeah, usually you would have like some siren light or something there to block that one out at the very least. Or, yeah, okay. Hey, see, science. Yeah.
Now I know, man. I'm probably gonna start using this now instead of siren lights. It's a lot more HP to be taken away there. It's a lot. It's actually a lot more viable. That is genius. Why did I never think of that?
Yeah, it's coming down to splash here for now as they are working through this floor. They were able to clear out one garage door, but there is one more behind them. So there really wasn't much of that base. We saw inside of the basically inner takedowns that they don't have the basically like meta setup in terms of like how people want to try and defend their bases and hide their TC. It's all garage. Not quite what you're looking for because it's such an easy splash.
Yeah, it might be easy splashes, but those garage doors still tank 3 rockets per door. Like you might. So let's say like they close these garage doors here, and they get splash damage. That's still 3 rockets wasted. It might be 3 doors, but it's 3 rockets. What I'm confused about, by the way, looking at this, is I actually think that this is a shelled base. If that makes sense. I don't know how well to explain that. Because it's not exactly vanilla. We can't have like multiple TC stuff. But I'm confused as to why they led them to their bedroom for one, and why there are so many garage doors.
They're cool, cat. Yeah, I don't know. I was not expecting just full-on bedrooms behind all of these, but eventually they got to get there. And the thing is, yeah, I like when I initially when I saw all the triangles, I was like, okay, they're just gonna have a lot of doors. There aren't as many as you were quite expecting. They might have just run out of time. They are making their way on through, and I'm trying to figure out how many members are inside currently, how many are outside defending. It looks like possibly 1 player outside, but it could also be all 6 members in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm pretty sure there's 2 outside, 1 in the compound, 1 on the roof, and the rest of the members, well, there'd have to be 1 at their base. You have someone making sure no one's going to raid them. And that would account for all 6, because the other 3 are inside this base right now, aside from the 2 outside. So that would account for all 6 members. These guys, I feel they were really confident on that single door, the TC being behind that, because they were like all here. All 3 of them were looking at that door, and like they were shooting it with utmost confidence that it was in there.
Yeah, I mean the way that they grouped, it's like when you're raiding and someone like all of a sudden goes, "Oh, look at this box!" Right? That was the kind of grouping that we had when they were behind that single door, and yeah, they're going for it again. And I'm getting some. Looks like not going to be successful on that one, but it's just a matter of time. They've got Ted, so not only, of course, are they putting people on timer, but they're just getting rid of their spawns entirely.
Exactly. This is one of so when it comes down to raiding, this is probably one of the most efficient ways to make a team, like, you know, to stop the defending team from coming back. Getting rid of the beds, making sure that they are on bag timers. I mean, I'm surprised that they actually aren't dedicating more to the bags, getting rid of the beds. But they might be confident when they get, you know, find that TC. They might think it's on here. I mean, judging by how hard they're going on these garage doors right now, it's the first time I've seen anyone sort of be this aggressive. Whew, God, that's some nice peeks into the shooting floor there. Dude, this base has surprised me. I've not seen a base design like this. This is my first time seeing something as like good as this. This would be really good to be defending in vanilla, especially against clans in vanilla. Especially, you know, with how dirty that peak was. I gotta get over that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I love the design, but unfortunately, you know, I feel like that, yeah, might be actually taking their time on this one, you know, even though like they've had full control over this base essentially. Oh, we have
Big
our first
Kahuna.
team going down. That's the Big Kahuna taken out by HQM. And you know, Big Kahuna typically, you know, the last couple events that I was able to catch, were able to basically survive for the entirety of the event. So I was surprised to see them going down this early on, and that's the first TC take.
That is. Who took them? I didn't see the notification say who took them. But I'm gonna assume it's
HQM, and with that TC, that actually put them in the lead by 2 points.
just 2 singular points. Oh, what are the boys doing? Are they raiding? I want to know. Can we see if we can find the boys raiding, or, you know, seeing what they're doing? Because that's where Big Kahuna's base was. I7, I8. Wow, they're here. Ping Diff. This is Ping Diff space, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh.
Yeah, remember Ping Diff was the team that was actually trying to counter them on Heli, I believe. But the boys were able to full control that one. They were able to pummel in from the side, it seems like. And the next team to go down, that's going to be Gorditos, FXX, picking that one up. So the first 10 minutes of race phase, and surprisingly enough, there's only 2 teams down, but not for long. We'll see if the boys can finish this one off. Casu actually showing up for this one as well for the counter.
Yeah, they want in on this as well. The fact that both sides of this base is open means it's going to be a lot more difficult to defend this base. The ping difference. Well, there you go. Guy just died upstairs, I believe, and respawn. But it's going to be a lot more difficult for these guys to defend. You can see that Whitex actually has control here of the shooting floor and is able to take out Kazhu, or one of the Kazhu members. I think someone else just arrived here on a scrap heli. Would this be more boys, or is it just a ghost Scrappy that was just flew itself here?
I saw the rotor going. Yeah, I definitely saw the rotor going at that point. But for the boys, it looks like it's just going to be full control. Kazu still have their respawns, but they need to try and push in. And that's going to be difficult because Kayet is actually out there. And it took some time, but it was Cavalda that ended up picking out SWMG. That was to be expected with what we saw over there.
Yeah, that one's not surprising at all in the least to me. Compound the space. Guys already sitting on top of the base to, you know, waiting for the raise phase to start. Right? Oh, now you got me saying raise phase. Whoa, what is this placement in here? Who the hell placed that? Oh my god. Who did that? Bro, who did that? Who trapped him in there with that? Oh my god.
I don't even know if it matters at this point, though. But I mean, I guess that's a small moral victory to be able to do that. Someone, you can see short work being made of this base right now, as C4 is just absolutely flying. It sounds like the 4th of July over here. As once you push into the breach, once you are able to get into the base, that C4 goes, and it's so quick.
My god, look at all that destruction in here. That's every inch of loot in the core of this base is gone. I was about to say they were just layering these C4 onto doors, but it seems like they were focusing more on the core of this base. It seems like the boys really do have this under control. Ping Diff is on those bag respawns outside the base. This is Goz? Goz is in here now. Where did he come from?
Yeah, I mean, there was maybe 3 members of the boys in here, and somehow Kaz might have actually taken control over this raid. So we'll see if the boys can get back in. We'll see if White X is still up top of the roof at the very least, and that's probably going to be their best opportunity to try and get this raid back. But so much work has already been done to the base now. Within the next minute, really, Kazoo, if they can find some C4, if they can find some boom, they might be able to finish this off.
Yeah, for sure. I was actually kind of expecting them to not even come to this raid, but the fact is that Go's got in here, got some boom, went through some doors, so I've got high hopes for Goose Kaz right now. I mean, yeah, look, Whitex is still holding down that shooting force. This guy might have the advantage for his team right now. See, Dwayne's coming back in here. We've got Valeria on the other side here, going up here. Oh, Ping Diff was eliminated! Let's go!
Oh,
Where
yeah.
was the
So
TC?
I believe Goes did end up getting cleared out. I don't know exactly by who. Maybe it was Mango running back on and he is full kitted out there, but that is going to be the next TC. Another one going down. It took some time, but Rots, of course, eventually did end up getting taken out by yeah. So that's already 5 of our 20 squads down. We still have, what, an hour and 15 minutes left here in the raid phase. Cavalda currently sitting in 7th place, as it looks like our next raid is going to be onto this base, Ooga Booga. They've got Too Good in their sights, or no, Too Good have Ooga Booga in their sights, but Ooga Booga might be pushing out here. We'll see if this is actually a defense for them.
It looks like they've done fairly well defending it so far. Their base isn't as open as you'd assume for a raid that seems like it's been going on for the past 10 minutes. I'm just a little concerned because we've got KLK on the roof of this base by the looks of it. You know, I'm wondering how long he's been there. Okay, I lied. He's not even on the roof. I thought he was. That's on me. I'm sorry.
No,
The
it
dude
was
was
one
on
of those
that
like
roof.
visual illusion paintings, you know, right? Where they just like play with perspective to kind of throw you off. It was just that. I completely understand.
It made me feel like I was looking at a Hogwarts Legacy photo or like, you know, painting. But Ooga Booga's done really well. I mean, I'm not even hearing any more. Okay, you know what? I spoke Castle's Curse, so I say I haven't really heard any more gunshots, let alone explosions. And I feel like they're very well on their way to repairing their base. I mean, just looking at the damage from this one particular side from Too Good is, well, it's not too great. So to
Yeah,
say.
I mean, overall, it was just a good sign as we joined this raid that we had a few members of Ooga Booga like being able to push out of their base raid. I mean, the scary part is when you're kind of just contained and you have to turtle. But when you have the ability to try and push out and maybe just create an opportunity for your squad. I mean, you can see Oak is still out there. He's healing up right now. Mr. was able to spot that one out. That slows down the boom. But the rocketing is starting to begin. We got some rocket PvPs from the defenders of Ooga Booga that actually ends up finding one. That's going to be Titanium going down, getting cleared out, and now he's just going to have to respawn. Luckily for them, they do have that raid platform at the very least, but I mean, yeah, you said it yourself. It looks like Too Good might have to just call it here.
They might have to, man. Honestly, that guy took the biggest L, man. He got downed by a rocket. By the way, that is a first. I have never seen anyone downed by a rocket before. Just to die to the cold. That is a fat L on that guy's behalf. Ooga Booga's pushed out here to the raid platform, ultimately taking control of this raid. This, honestly, for Too Good, well, you know, they didn't do too good. I'm trying to find.
I mean, this is Caster Curse from 20 minutes ago, so
Yeah.
this is gonna be a huge setback. I don't know how much like of your boom you end up bringing to your first raid, right when it comes to the raid phase. But this could be a really hard reset for them. We might not see them on the map for like another 15 minutes if they have to farm up some sulfur and stuff like that. Oh boy. Oh no.
This looks like a turkey on Thanksgiving. It's open. Most people are going in for, you know, their second, third rounds.
Yeah, I mean, if this were a turducken, we'd be basically at the chicken phase of that turducken. And things are not looking good whatsoever. I didn't even get to see whose face this was. If this is Balda's face, it is. We saw Cavalda. Remember, that was the squad that ended up taking SWFG, but they end up getting raided in turn, and their base is in complete shambles right now. Look at all the doors that are open as well.
That is absolutely unfortunate to see. But I mean, you know, you get caught off guard sometimes. Doors are open. You know, you got guys that just pummel in. I've actually seen bases just like this, by the way, that have every single one of their doors open in the core because people don't expect guys to raid into it. But my god, wait, hold on, are they missing? Oh, okay. They are missing the entire fire shooting full. There was a layer on top there. They're missing all that. Ooh, I'm excited to see HQM
Yeah.
get this DC, by the way.
So the shooting floor gone. It looks like even the most teams like to have beds up top on their roof, and I didn't even see any beds up there. So this is basically, I think, a conclusion. I don't know if there's going to be any opportunity for Valda to be able to try and defend this one. Remember, HQM, I believe this is going to be their second raid. I believe they took one more TC before this one, so they are just moving.
The HQM's a pretty strong team. I mean, I didn't really touch up on anyone other side from Eclipse, did I? So HQM's raiding tactics are usually get the beds and then get the core, because you got access. Like if you get rid of the beds again, that's right, glossed over. That's less respawn. In the base, it's more time to run, especially with these guys. I'm assuming they don't have any bags nearby. Judging by how long it's taking. And then you get control of their core, and what are they going to do? Like they can't fight you with the core. That's their loot gone. It's potential TC gone if you've got people who put their TC in the core. That are they eliminated? Ooga Booga was eliminated by
Too Good.
Too Good.
What?
What?
We thought it was over. We thought it was the defense for Ooga Booga. They pushed out onto the raid platform. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Ooga Booga, but Too Good somehow turned things around on that raid. Things were looking so bad. 3 of them were down. Ooga Booga were pushing out of their base, but man, that is a surprising turn of events at the very least. Now, as we continue on this raid for HQM, it's just full control from Valda. We see members kind of running in from the outside, so they are just completely bagged at this point, and it's just gonna be some free boom now. And we did see Cavalda, of course, using some of their boom, but this is what we have to talk about, right? The fact that here in the earlier phases of the raid phase, if you're able to get into the base, if you're able to get that TC, all that loot is yours.
Exactly, and it all comes down to whether or not, too, when you're raiding that base, if that base has booms. For me, when I raid a base, like I've played base invader tournaments before, and when we go to raid a base, or at least how we think of it is if we're going to go raid, like let's say someone will be fighting all PvP phase, the one decision that pushes us to raid them is the fact we think they have boom. And we've raided plenty of bases before, and base invaders, you get in there and there's no boom. It's like you wasted all your boom. You're like, 100,000, sulfur gone, wasted on a base just to get in there, and all they have is like 30k stone in the TC and like a bunch of AK kits and no boom. So Cavalda, I'm going to assume, got no boom out of the base that they raided earlier. So whatever little boom they had, they would have wasted it trying to get kills, trying to damage players. I don't know if you know this, and for those of you who are new to the chat, by the way, but our explosives in base invaders do significantly less damage. So you can't be rocket PvPing people. Also, friendly fire was a new thing we added as well. You can no longer do friendly fire. You can toggle it on and off. That means, me and Jamerson, we won't be team killing each other.
The amount of times that, our raids have, failed because, someone just ran in front of someone with a launcher. It happens. But for HQM, there might be a small glimmer of hope as Backpack was able to push out and maybe clear out one. But things might be turning around here as members are starting to defend. But the problem is that it's still looking like a pretty decent amount of control for HQM at this point. Boomkama coming in for the counter though.
Where did these guys come from? They've been sitting out on the side. Joker's here now on the minicopter, so they've got control of the roof. HQM has control of the roof. I was about to say something about them sealing. It might be with wood, but it's still sealing. But you know what? I was wrong. They've been wiped out. Cavalda is basically gone from this base. Better is still here. Wow, that was a waste of C4 in my opinion, that one. Opening straight down to the base.
For HQM though, remember, this is their second raid. The first one happened fairly quickly. Like you said, you're scouting for teams that might have boom. It was very unfortunate for Valda that, they ended up going into the base that probably didn't have as much. We saw the furnaces outside as well exposed, so maybe there was some sulfur for them at the very least. But for HQM, they were able to find a base early on that probably had some extra boom for them, which allows them to kind of snowball, chain into the next raid here. It's just a matter of time. This is TC. Oh my god. The thing is, I don't know if anyone actually goes to check this.
We definitely didn't need to do that, but that's free range. That door's open.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
That
They're
is the
checking.
TC. This is HQM's second or third. This is now the third TC.
Wow.
Crazy. It's going to be pushing them into a very close, very, very close second place. 227 points behind the boys on 237. That's a 10-point difference right now between the top two teams.
Yeah, only 10 points, and I'm so
Wow.
surprised. I mean, 230. I don't typically see that kind of scoreline like this early on. It's only been 22 minutes into the last phase of the day. And yeah, how many more bases are remaining? There we go. We do have a big cluster there on the northwest. Here's Kazoo defending theirs. The boys showing up for this one. And it looks like they just began their pummel on the side of this base.
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, they've kind of defended this pretty well. You've got Deepex out here, an astounding PvP, by the way. I did not get to mention this earlier, but Deepex, Valeria here, and Luigi, for this team, are probably the best PvPers of this team. You're going to be looking at the sheet at the end of this. Hold on a minute here.
There was an opportunity there. One member of Kazoo was coming in for the flank on this raid platform, but importantly, Kai on that wide angle, off by himself, basically on an island, on that one side of the base, pushed out a Deepex, was able to clear him out, and now Kazoo are kind of contained inside of their base, but you can see this is just the beginning. The boys just started onto this one. Kazoo still have access to their roof, but the pummel, the rocket pummel, is coming out. They have reached 4, but you can see there's still a lot of layers for them to get through.
There sure is, and the fact that most of those walls in there were high quality, by the way. So I'm going to assume that this one level that they're breaking into was just strictly sheet metal. Had that been high quality metal, I would say that this base wouldn't be as open. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like that might be a bit of a, bit of a discourager too for the raiders. But the boys seem pretty confident in this raid. I mean, I look at Kaz's base, right? Like Kaz's base right now. I'm going to assume that there's some boom in there. Like these guys had been farming. Look at this base. It is. Well, that's something. It's a base we're going to see often, especially with these little half like floors between the windows and the roof. Ooh.
Yeah,
okay, hold on.
It's a nice chonky one, but right now they just need to find an opportunity to push out. They might have actually been able to find a flank. Yeah, Kai 8 was actually taken down, so that one angle that he was able to hold now gone. So the defense is really starting for Kazoo. They have an opportunity to try and push out. You can see Dumpy is already outside of the compound. You have Luigi going for a wide swing on that one side that Kai 8 was playing off of. So the boys have been slowed. We saw a big flurry of rockets coming out from them, but now they kind of have to slow things down just a little bit. They have to make sure that their outside is contained, as 2 actually wide swings are coming out. One from the north, one from the south. You got Luigi there coming in, along with Deepex from the south side.
I was about to say, yeah, did you catch Deepez going all out? Kai8's obviously seen him and probably just killed him, judging by the fact that they've snapped straight back to the compound. But Deepex, had he been successful on that flank, probably could have managed to take out at least 1 or 2 rocketers. You can see Luigi still has a chance out here. No one's seen him yet.
Yeah,
Which I'm
they
super
just needed
surprised about.
like a little bit more presence on the roof, right? So, like someone just needed to go for the peak while these players were making their long play, and yeah, Deepex was cleared out. So there's gonna have to be Luigi. Luigi is the one who needs to come up clutch. Now we do have actually a flank coming out from some Kazoo members, 3 actually. So it might have just been a distraction. Now Luigi is in. He is creeping up, but you can see the trigger just not firing quite yet. He's waiting. There we go. The first one down. That's going to be made. Oh, and he's able to convert onto a second. That was a 3v1. He ends up clutching up that, and now that's going to be the huge opportunity for the flankers to come in. You can see even on the inside, someone is trying to seal as well. This is a great defense coming up from Kazoo.
That trigger discipline was amazing. Triple headshot into another triple, and unfortunately going down. So that was a 2-for-1 trade and a really good flank. You can see these 3 players behind. I'm going to assume that these Kazoo 3 members behind aren't exactly kitted. I'm going to assume they have guns. You know what I like? They have guns. They have guns. They got a kill.
Waiting. I think they were just waiting. Kazoo now going to start pushing out, and the boys are in some trouble at this point. You can see they're trying their best to respawn and get kitted back on up, but they've got 3 members flanking from behind them. They have to worry now about compound. Oh no, Max now.
Max is down. Whitex is down. Sorry I got excited there for a second. I genuinely thought that the raid platform was taken out, and that push was like one of the greatest things we were going to see.
The render distance, yeah, can sometimes trip you up when the beds don't show up, but I'm pretty sure it's still there.
Yeah, it
I didn't
is.
see anyone from roof like rocketing it down yet. The render distance will kind of play tricks with you, and that would have been massive. But I mean, you know, in a 1v3, getting that 2v1, getting the 2-for-1 trade was fantastic. You could see that did actually create a huge window, but the boys are so quick to respond here with the defense, right? They're able to turn around and try and deal with the Kazu members behind. But now they're actually try and gain control. M2 out for K as well. And so they mean it. They want to complete this raid, but they've got to be careful. K actually pushing into the breach. Dumpy is there, and K's going to try and wide swing from the left side, but Dumpy will clear him out. That's going to be an M2 actually going their way.
That sure is, dude. What's just unfolded for me, like right now, it's mind blowing me. The fact that Dumpy's managed to survive on, I think it was what 40 HP against two people who, you know, broke this peach. God damn it, break this. Oh my god, breach the wall. There we go. Finally, Sushi getting the words out. You know, against two AKs, I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say that one of the boys members had an M2 as well, because I'm fairly certain I heard two M2s. But it doesn't matter now. Both in the possession of Kazu, and these guys have pushed out. I mean, they can repair that wall. I'm actually surprised they didn't. I mean, I guess they're focusing more on trying to get the boys on bag timer, and it looks like it might be going their way. Hold on, we've got Bubo here. He just got like a double kill. Valeria just respawned. Mango's still here.
Yeah,
wow.
We have to remember that during the attack phase, boys were able to secure themselves one patrol helicopters. So yeah, 100% they were able to get themselves that. I'm trying to remember if Kazu was able to take a helicopter for themselves or not. I don't think so. I believe they were trying to counter. Yeah. Kazu came in on the scrappy during the attack phase, but it was the boys that ended up with the loot. But eventually the M2 goes the way of Kazu, so we know how that goes when it comes to patrol helicopter.
Exactly. These guys got absolutely slapped. I have to say, I had not like, you know, not enough hope for them when they came in on that scrappy, you know, and to be fair, they got slapped around. But right now, they're the ones doing the slapping. Like, the boys haven't really progressed any further into their base. We're heading up here now to Gumkama's base. They are getting, they are getting raided by HKM. I thought HKM had a base here. I was like, that doesn't sound about right.
Oh man, look at the geography of this raid as well. So HQM, the raiders, are the ones actually that have the high ground, and I think they have full view of the roof from here. So
they do.
Oh my goodness, it's clear line of sight basically onto the roof right now. And so
at the same level.
Yeah, they're playing this one actually extremely safe. Take a look. They're able to lock it from behind their walls right now. But taking a look at this side, HQM on the outside of this shell, and so they're not even dealing with that. It's just going to be sheet metal for them as they get into the core at this point. Now, they do still have to breach. Someone still needs to get over to the wall. Gumkama will maybe have an opportunity to try and maybe take advantage at that point. Ooh, one member actually going down there, so maybe you need to play around the safety of the walls there, as Bone Aqua has to put some new ones down, as Gumkama are trying their best to try and deal with this raid platform from range.
Yeah, the fact that they are targeting the raid platform from the roof, that's actually a really good strategy. It's just unfortunate for them that their most advantageous point, you know, because their walls have been taken out, has been taken down. There's one thing I got to point out here, and this goes for every raider. I don't know if you noticed this, but there has been about 5 rockets since we've been here that have missed this base completely and have landed on the other side. This can go for inexperienced players or more experienced players. The rocket is one of the hardest things to aim, you know, with just a regular rocket, because that aim cone on it, that has so much drop because of how heavy that rocket is. It's difficult to line it up, you know, at distance even, like these guys are, you know,
at distance to and at height. I think that's the other variable that's kind of throwing them off, right? Even for experienced players, I don't know how many people, players, when they're raiding, you know, they get a raid platform, they're or not raid platform, or raid base down, and I don't fairly often see booming from, you know, the top of the raid base, right? It's usually boots on the ground, and you're basically outside the walls or inside the compound booming in, right? But when you're at eye level with their roof and you're trying to rocket from this distance, it's a little bit different. But they are honing in, they are starting to target, and they're connecting with everything now.
Yeah, you can see here that they do have a like an opening into this compound. The gate's gone. I mean, more of these walls are gone. You can see that. How is that door standing there? What? Oh, it does. Okay.
Not for long. It's like a Minecraft door or something, right?
It is. Oh my god.
Yeah, pressure plate, it's gonna be great. We've got automation, but we need more automation on doors. No. Goomcover are trying their best to seal at this point, but it looks like with no presence outside whatsoever, it's just a free pummel. And they're not taking any risks whatsoever. I haven't seen anyone push in quite yet, as Too Good end up taking out Fun. So it took a little bit of time. Too Good were able to regroup, and yeah, like we said, it was probably going to be about 15 minutes for them to be able to regroup and get another raid. So I'm glad to see that they were able to at least bounce back from the defense that we saw earlier on. But for Goomkama, they are scrambling for a defense right now. They are trying their best to seal up. They are actually getting some upgrades on this one. So the work that the Rockets were able to put in, kind of, being thwarted just a little bit. Lamborghini up top on the roof. They need to start getting defenders out here, and it looks like they're able to mount a small bit of a defense.
They sure are. Sorry for the unreadiness right now. I just had to get that note down. Minecraft door. And it's still floating!
Okay, that's definitely not a Minecraft door. Once the block underneath is gone, then it's gone for sure. Alright, so I don't know. Hey,
This is the greatest
so
visual
weird.
glitch I've ever seen in Rust. That floating door. Oh my god. Sorry, wow, I was just highlighting that. That is incredible. You can see here that they are starting to foundy wipe the extensions. Wait, hold on. Why did they go quiet?
Yeah, the extension halls, just to be safe. I understand that it was HQM's first kind of foray into the compound here, and Hokkaido doing a decent job of trying to keep them contained. And now, earlier on, right, we were talking about why it's so important to get the compound. And that's why you kind of funnel them in when they try to push into the breach.
Yeah, this is a prime example. Like, obviously, taking the gate has its advantages, but also has its disadvantages. Like you said, it creates a funnel that gives them only one way into the compound. And it makes it so much easier for them to defend. Like, I'm looking at this, and sorry, that was some whipping and a half there by HQM. Was that Joker that went in there? Joker.
Yeah, it was Joker that ended up trying to go in. Someone does. There we go. Now, we were talking about the natural kind of way of how it funnels. Well, the more experienced teams, HQM, definitely one of them, are going to find more than one entry into a compound. And they're going to continue with that kind of poundy wipe. They don't want to deal with the walls. They might as well, if they're going to take out a wall with C4, pound it with C4 instead and basically deal with that. I'd be surprised, though, if the TC is out here, but honestly, they just want to deal with any kind of spawns on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't know what could be in these hallways here. Like, just maybe more bags. It could be, empty. Foundy wiping it is probably their best bet that they do have here, and I love seeing a foundy wipe. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always great to see a foundy wipe. I mean, my first time in the casting for Base Invaders was a foundation wipe of a huge base, and I've just had a love for it ever since. Oh, wait, did he? Hold on. Did he die? Where did that body come from?
I'm not entirely too sure. This base has been all magic, basically. Oh man, he was maybe trying to. And
wait, did they get eliminated?
Ends up going down. That's gonna be the boys picking that one up. They are now in the clear lead, basically 60 points above Alton. HQM though, if they get this TC, that'll put them well within reaching distance of the boys.
That is true, and I've got to say, Kazoo being our 8th place team, it sucks for them. And that means they're out. Koi is now taking over our 8th place team. Now, I'd just like to have a look at our leaderboard real quick. I want to see what teams are left standing. Oh, we have our top 10 teams. Don't even worry about that.
We started the day with 20, so not too surprising, but the simple fact that we're not even halfway through, right? We're almost there at the halfway point of the raid phase, and basically half the teams are gone.
Yeah, that's I honestly was expecting at least 1 or 2 more teams, but the fact that there's 10 is just incredible. I've lost my train of thought.
Okay, that means there are less and less targets. The opportunity possibly of only having one team surviving at the end would be quite high. We'll see though, because you know that it does get expensive to go for the raids. You start profiting less and less on every single raid as time goes on. A lot of C4, a lot of rockets have gone into this one right now, but HQM have full control.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at this base now, it's actually very, like, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's very compact, that's what I'm looking for. This is something you don't see often with these bases. Like, you've seen our Advent style bases that, take off the meta of base invaders. I'm looking at this, and honestly, this could be the new meta. I mean, it's tight, there's a lot of doors. I mean, it kind of doesn't leave much to the imagination for bags. Like you were saying, HQM's pretty much got control over this base right now.
Yeah, and there is very few spawns remaining. Essentially, there we go. We found some beds, but they haven't been cleared out. But they don't have any loot around. There's no lockers. We don't even see any crates or anything. So this is just kind of free for HQM. It's just a matter of time. We've got even the wood doors
The wooden door.
Oh wait, never mind.
That's the wooden door. That's the wooden rat door. Last charitable Rust.
Try to trick him. But I don't know. Yeah, eventually, C4 is gonna deal with all of it, and right now there is very. We found some rockets.
Found some loot. Found some loot. Found some kits. One thing I really wanted to see on in Base Invaders. Now, I hope you're familiar or have seen the Rust store. Well, there goes the wooden door. The Rust store as of late, but you've seen that they're bringing in different styles of doors. Now, we started out with the thatch door, and I believe it's a metal door. That is the funniest door skin, I think. I bought that immediately, and putting it on a high quality door frame is hilarious. I've sat here during an online raid on one of our servers here in Australia, and I had to sit there for like 10 minutes because this guy was shooting it, expecting it to break, and this guy was blowing up and chat about it. He's like, why won't the twin door break? And it took him like 10-20 minutes to figure out that it was a sheet metal door that he was shooting.
That could have easily been me. Oh, take a look at this. We do have some members of Goomcomet still trying to defend, unfortunately. It's just not going to be enough. HQM are just all up in here. And there were moments where maybe Goomcomet could have possibly tried to defend it. It was just really unfortunate how the geography worked out for them, right? The fact
that's
that
unfortunate.
Basically their roof meant absolutely nothing. The fact that the raid platform was eye level with it.
Yeah, what's the point in a roof if you can see, your enemies at eye level? I don't understand. It seems like this is going to be an unfortunate end to them. We can already see what's going to happen. HQM's going to find the TC here shortly. They're gonna get rid of it. If it's not with the foundry wife, it'll definitely be with, spamming it on a wall or something. I'm
just getting through the last of the board. There aren't that many left.
Oh, these are armored. Yeah, sorry, my bad. So I was a little confused on why they were wasting so much explosives on like a door. It's a high quality metal door, so it makes so much sense.
Yeah, basically, the bottom half is all high qual, and the top half is all sheet metal. They are taking their time now. Things have slowed down just a little bit. It is just a matter of time, but I'm surprised how long this raid has actually taken for our squad at this point. Nope.
Where did this lead into the compound? I just want to point out. That guy put 3 C4 onto that door.
I think that was one of the greatest reveals. What's behind door number 2? Not anything at all. Not even a room. It's not even a room.
It's like that deal. It's like that deal or no deal thing where he's got the choice between $100,000 and 50 cents, and the reveal is he gets the 50 cents. He's so confident in it being $100,000.
Eventually, though. It's going to be 40 points at the very least for HQM if they can get this. We're shooting outside. Why are they shooting outside? We can take a look at that side. We do have a team coming in for the counter. It's going to be the boys.
They've taken out the raid platform by the sounds of that, getting rid of all their bags and beds. They may be replacing it, and they may be taking over this raid. I mean, HQM's going to need to be a little more hasty right now to try and get this TC. I think they have an idea. Is this no? That's not a TC. That is a. That's a generator. Where is this TC?
Oh man, HQM, things were looking so good, but they ended up slowing down the last 5 minutes. Not able to find it, and this base, putting up a surprisingly good amount, defense. Not the defenders themselves, but the base is able to slow them down at the very least. And we understand that time is important. Hokkaido was able to find himself a kit, and now they are dealing with the last two members of HQM. The thing is, they still have the boys on the horizon.
Exactly. Now I've got to play off of what you just said. This base has soloed this right now. This base is the MVP, man. Like this guy's gonna have like 200 points at the end of this. I'm telling you, bro. This base OP player, ban him right now.
Anyone looking for a builder? Well, I mean, this base, honestly, this base is great for defense here, but the issue was, yeah, it came down to just kind of the geography. The fact that they didn't, if they had built basically where the raid platform is, almost impossible to raid, right?
Yeah.
Like you would have just had such good high ground, such good elevation. But the fact that it was not on the highest of places there. As we move on over, it looks like we have multiple squads actually here. So it's going to be FXX and I believe Team Boy trying to finish off this VGA base, I believe.
Yeah, and it looks like they attempted the Foundry wipe. Now, I haven't seen this in ages, and it really intrigued me. But the fact that this base is missing pretty much all of its core is, this doesn't look too good for VGA. Was they just eliminated? No, the boys!
Gumkama, the boys, as soon as they started their raid, as soon as the counters started, they were able to finish that off. So that's so unfortunate for HQM, because they were so close. That shows how close they were to finishing that raid. But unfortunately, time is the most important resource when it comes to raids.
Exactly. And the other one that I think is on par with that is timing. Time and timing. Two different meanings. Two very different things. But both of them are important in raiding. I mean, I don't know how to put it. Like, you want to be quick, right? But you also want to be precise. Time. Let's say you've got like 3 minutes to raid a base, right? You want to make sure your timing is absolutely perfect. You want to know when placing your C4. Between reloading, you got to make sure that's perfect, or you got to make sure that the reloading the rockets is is on point, on par, sorry, or on point. I'm struggling with words today, man. I have no idea what is happening. I think I'm nervous. I don't know, man. I haven't been here for like a month. I'm seeing these players do absolutely amazing things, and I only dream about doing in vanilla.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this raid right now, because things have slowed down. FXX might have an opportunity to try and possibly steal away this raid. But just try and get someone on the roof. We do have an M2 outside. I believe that's going to be 3 from FXX with that one now. But he does get sprayed down from that rooftop, has to heal up. And so FXX really need to kind of find some sort of opening here, wide down the ladders to get himself up. VGA were able to deal with most of the members of Koi who were inside, and unfortunately for Koi, it looks like they're actually running back all the way from their base. So if there was a raid platform, might have been dealt with.
Yeah, that's quite a distance to be running, by the way. So this is another prime example of why, getting rid of bags is an absolute necessity. Like, even though Koi is raiding them, getting rid of a raid platform that they potentially had, sets them back a lot. If they don't have anywhere to respawn near the base, they have to run a distance. And again, that's time, that's valuable time wasted, for them in this, raid right now. But Koi, honestly, not Koi, sorry, VGA, honestly, despite how open their base is kind of defending this pretty perfectly. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but they were repairing on the roof, and it might have just been with wood, but that wood was still stopping rockets to hit from, hitting more, deeper into their base. But unfortunately, their bags are now gone, and I think these were the only 2 beds left in this base.
Oh man, that was so close. Link almost losing out on that 1v1, but he is alive. He still has that rocket launcher on his back. See some C4 out for him, though. They are so close to being able to finish off this raid. There isn't much left. And then, even if you get a defense, how long until the next raider shows up? Because I don't even know. There's not much of a blueprint left of this base to try to rebuild.
Yeah, it really isn't. I feel like Because this all comes down to stability now. Like for me, right, looking at this base, I would be targeting the foundations. I wouldn't be trying to hit walls, like these guys are trying to hit from what I'm hearing. Like I wouldn't be trying to do this. I'd be hitting the foundies, man, because it all comes down to stability. If that TC is on any of those upper floors, knocking out a foundation right now could get rid of it. You know, it's just and it's easy for you know, an easy win, easy 40 points. To be fair though, I think this is FX rating with these rockets right now, so maybe they have a different plan.
Yeah,
it is indeed.
I think the difficulty for FXX is that they don't have an eye on that side, and the other difficulty is that they have members of VGA actually coming in for the flank onto their raid platform. So while they are pushing out, VGA still have to be careful because they are quite exposed to Koi, but they're going to take the risk. They're going to try and push out, and they're going to try and deal with them. It looks like Civs was able to take out a few Pixar in that 1v1 up against him right now. She wants to furnace Civs.
Does he know? He doesn't even know.
Side, but Hickstar will be able to deal with that, clears him out. Now VGA are in world trouble.
And you know what? They're about to be in even more than just a world of trouble. It might be a universe of trouble because if you look to the right, HQM has decided to get their their asses over here. They're ready to take on this raid. You can see that Shiran has noticed that and he's putting up walls, trying to save what's you know, what's left of his boys. And I just want to mention something too, by the way. You said there was a raid platform, right? Three twig foundations and a metal foundation is not a. I wouldn't exactly call that a raid, you know, raid platform.
I saw that. I was like, oh, these can go so bad. You know, just AK spray. But good on HQM, right? They ended up losing their raid. The boys were able to come in and literally steal it in the last second. I feel like it was just one door that HQM lost that raid by. They have bounced back and they're here for the next one. So this base is getting pummeled from all three sides. And this is basically kind of a triangle setup, essentially, right? FXX on one side, I believe it was Koi from the other. And now, yeah, HQM coming in here, but with so few targets remaining, right? Less than 10 teams remaining, basically, in the server. There's only so many targets.
Exactly. One thing I do like to point out towards the halfway point of the raid phase, by the way, is that the top 5 teams should be the targets of the other teams. So, I mean, you knock those guys out. So let's say, we'll take the boys, for example. You knock the boys out somehow, miraculously, out of the leaderboard. That's all 368 points of them. We just got eliminated. KLK, sorry.
KLK taking about Alton. I'm so surprised. We haven't actually talked about Alton. Basically,
at all, actually.
Since the raid phase started, but they may have picked up maybe 3 or 4 TCs for themselves. They are currently 24 points off from the boys who are leading right now. And we haven't seen the boys for their next raid quite yet. They might just be flying in, actually. We've got a Scrappy coming in, and the boys are coming in for another counter.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Gigi, our producer, is just saying because of the amount of action that is happening right now, he's not sure if his PC's gonna be able to handle it. And I mean, you guys can see it. You know, he's rubber banding around just a tad. I mean, I don't fault him too. There's a lot of rockets in this place. I mean, I doubt my PC would be able to handle this.
Yeah. You got Boom, you got PvP, you got Scrappies flying in, and 4 teams essentially on this base right now, which honestly isn't much of a base at this point. You can see the roof is almost completely decimated. VGA still trying to scramble for defense. Koi and FXX have pushed into the breach, but the boys are pushing out in full force right now. Kai8 is going to be playing anchor on the outside. HQM have spotted them out, but he should be able to stay alive for right now. There it is, the platform going down. We're about to hear more boom.
The boys have honestly done really well. I've got to say, with how aggressive they've been, I'm honestly not even going to be surprised when, well, if, I was about to say when, but if they win this event. Because like I was just saying before, and I'll finish up on that one, you target any one of those top 5 teams and that's them gone. Their points non-existent no more. You know, those points don't matter. You know, and the more teams you wipe out from the top 5, the better chance you have as a team under the top 5 to win.
And if we take a look at the gap, right? First to fifth place, boys to two good. That's over 129 points. That's 129 points separating them. That's 3 TCs. So almost mathematically, there aren't enough TCs out there for you unless you get like half the remaining TCs. That's the only way you can try and catch up. So yeah, you do have to try and target them. Especially now. If you're someone like Yap who isn't at this raid currently, basically half the server is at this raid right now. The other half need to go after them. So we'll see if they can try to do that right now. Boys, though, they are instantly inside the base. I love this. They are so fast. Once they come in for the counter, instantly pushing someone into the breach, and now the C4 is going down for them.
Yeah, I'm actually now I understand why they're in the lead. I feel like it's because every raid they've gone to, everyone else has done the work for them. They only have to come in and knock out a couple doors and get the TC. Like that last raid is a prime example. One singular door, 2 C4 is all it took for them to get a TC. That's how fast it was. And this base, this isn't even a base.
Has already been decimated for them, right? So they just have to deal with this side. I don't know how many doors are remaining, but not many at this point. So, boy, K, he does have to defend. Oh wait, no, never mind.
He's getting rid of
dealing with that ladder, yeah. So now
sure.
rooftop control for him is he's just trying to sniff out where are any more doors.
He's trying to find that TC. Honestly, I think the boys may just get this chance. They may get a TC. I know just how tempting it is being a producer myself. It is, trying to go through these doors to find out what the TC is. And I can see Gigi really wants to see what's behind the next door. It's like a Where's Waldo puzzle almost. You always want to try and find him, try and know where he is.
I feel like he is getting so close because I mean this base has basically been halved, right? It's not even a shadow of its former glory
self.
whatsoever. Yeah, it's like centuries have passed, nature has healed. That's the kind of phase that we're at with this base. Dude,
honestly, yeah, I was gonna say, if we're talking medieval stuff, this base has been harmful and important, man. He's literally I bet you he knows that door's there, and he's probably run out of boom, or maybe he doesn't think the TC's behind it. You would be surprised. I would be absolutely fuming if I found out the TC was behind that at the end of this, and the space is still standing.
This base is just hanging on by like sheer determination of will. You can see that you were talking about earlier, like if you start, dealing with stability at this point, it's less about going through doors. It's more about just dealing with the foundations. I mean, half the foundation's already gone, guys. Just continue the founding like freaking someone.
Yeah, I mean, look there. They just took out one extra foundation in that room that he was in. Look, the more of the base is gone. See, foundations are key now thanks to the stability update to Rust. Meaning, you can't be building stuff purely off stability anymore. Wow, what a loot! I did not even know that loot room was there. Wow, nice placement of that one. There's still more doors in this base.
Yeah, HQM, another team that's actually inside the breach right now, and looks like possibly the boys have lost some presence there. It's so hard to tell, right? Because it could just be like two different sides of this base, and neither of them are really trying to deal with each other. But right now, HQM, it's their moment. They need to try and find this. Bon Aqua needs to get eclipsed back up, and they've got 3 members inside right now, at least Naked going in to try and find something to do and re-hit for themselves. Seeing a lot of things still taking place right here, and someone just needs to kind of deny this one overall from the boys. But even for the boys being here, if they don't get the TC, this is still a good spot for them. They were only maybe like 20 some odd points above Alton, but when they showed up, they were able to get so much more PvP kills. They basically put themselves with a TC difference between them and second place.
Sorry, yeah. I'm looking at this base, man. I'm sorry. Where is the TC? Where is this TC?
I couldn't even venture to guess.
I genuinely think we just did a full 360 of this base. I'm sorry, that's what I was paying more attention to. I have little to no idea what you were just talking about. I'm sorry. I was just focusing on this when we did the 360, and I feel like every door we've seen is a door that leads outside. Where the hell is the TC?
It's like, God, I think the TC is like quantumly connected to this base
It's
or
just-
something, right? It kind of exists. It doesn't really exist. Like it's
It's
somehow
other side of the
contained
map.
here.
It's
Yeah.
like not even here. It's other side of the map. They somehow figured out a way to connect one side of the map to the other. Oh my god. Sorry. I believe you were saying something along the lines of them putting about 2-3 TCs between them, between them and other players. Correct?
No. Just the fact that they showed up for this raid, coming in for the
Oh,
counter,
yeah.
they're getting the PvP points, right? And so even if they don't get the PC, they were able to pick up about 20 points just in PvP alone.
Yeah, and that's half. Sorry, my bad. Like you're saying, half of a TC. Yeah, these guys are the boys. Honestly, if they weren't here for that TC, those points are definitely going to be pushing it further. Like, I mean, they're at 400 points. All right, that's what, 40, 43 points. That is a TC plus 3. From the second place team altered there. That puts them over 200 points for the rest of the teams, easily.
We're seeing the rocket pummel coming, continuing from this side. I believe that was FXX trying once again, but it looks like for Gigi, man, this is so rough. This is so rough when you have basically the entire server here.
Yeah, what if the TC is behind that one door? What
It
if?
could very well be.
Wait, is it? Hold on. It might just, or could you do the single door? No, bro. This base is so confusing.
No. That's an actual. Wait, is it a single door?
Is it?
No. Wait. Oh man, my
I don't know.
brain has melted trying to comprehend this.
There's 2 doors. Okay, there's
Okay,
2 doors.
two
here.
doors confirmed. 2 doors confirmed.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. That solves that puzzle piece for now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's gonna be behind that, right? You don't leave your TC exposed to 2 doors. You always have to have it behind the wall.
I mean, to be
Findings?
fair, I have seen, and this has been a known fact of one of our teams. Now, I cannot remember the for life of me their team name, but it'll if I see them, I'd be able to tell you that yes, this is a team. There was a team that built a tower base for like a few months, right? For like 3-4 months continuously, every weekend, built a tower base, and they put Poo Eaters. There it was. That was the name, Poo Eaters. These guys put their TC in window view almost every weekend, and you could never see it until you got close enough to that base or exploded the window. That is just how cunning they were. How like 2 million IQ that was, sitting in the TC in a window in plain view of everyone. I remember the first time someone.
Yeah.
It is. I remember the first
Mind
time.
games.
I remember the first time someone found the TC in the window, bro. They were so gobsmacked. Like, they were so speechless, dude, just staring at it for like a couple of minutes. It was absolutely incredible. Like, what if that's the play here? What if the TC is just behind those 2 doors,
All right. Looks like the boys are back. They lost a little bit of control of the inside of the base. It's going to be White Axe, who we've seen throughout the day has been kind of pivotal in being control of these raids for his squad. Does he end up winning?
Yes, he does!
Oh my god, no, he goes down.
Oh, he doesn't? No,
Link
you're
ends up
right.
winning that one, and then BJ comes in. It's an all-out brawl. We have to remember there's 4 or 5 teams basically at this raid, at this defense.
2
as well.
quits here too!
Oh my goodness.
When did they show up here? Wait, where's he throwing the C4? What?
He's just trying to get rid of it. He's just trying to get rid of it. He doesn't want it here. He does. Get it out. Get it out.
Get it out of my
He
face,
knows.
bro.
Dude, what? There's no
base here. There's no base at all. What? Bro, these guys have made. Wait, who built this base? I need to know who built this base.
Okay,
My
speaking of which,
God.
by the way, so we were talking about the points that the boys were able to pick up, right? They haven't gotten the TC yet, but now they've gotten another 20. We were speaking of them just a moment ago, and they were reaching 400 points. Now they're at 423. This is so important. I'm wondering what Alton is doing throughout all of this. They might be going for a raid, but I don't know.
Where are their points? They actually haven't. So good thing you pointed that out, because now that you mention it, they have barely. They've been just every couple of minutes going up a point. Like what have they been doing? It just makes me wonder. Are they sitting at their base and planning the raid? Like who knows? VGA, he got a nice kill. I think that was a nice trade there. Potentially getting a kill for his team. These guys being in 5th place, by the way, still having like a non-existent base. Still with 252 points. Like these guys are Like, are these guys vanilla chads or something? Is this a base they make like all the time? Like, you can clearly tell that these guys have so experienced with this base design, and like they must be very confident in it because they were coming with kits from outside. You know, these guys were spawning outside. The
I'm
utmost
wondering,
confidence they must
can we
have.
go to the boys?
The boys'
Yeah,
base.
yeah, let's take a look at that raid all the way at the south side in the snow.
Oop. Yeah, his PC. Yes, our producer's PC is struggling. This is
Oh wow. Okay, so Alton and the Vane are actually here on Too Good's base currently. Too Good. We saw them, right? They were turning their heads to possibly go for the counter onto that VGA base, but now they have to deal with this. It looks like Alton were just looking for a target, and we currently have Yas setting up their raid platform. Alton getting set up as well. They have been able to take out. Wait, wait, hold on. That wall placement doesn't actually make sense for me on the compound.
wait, which one? Which one? The singular wall in the middle of nowhere, or the
wall? Yeah.
So I'm going to have the assumption here that there was a gate there. Because as you can see with the gate on the other side there, it's got an airlock, or what we call an airlock for it. So I'm going to assume that was the reason for that wall placement. However, he could have just been fighting someone, could place it down, and because it's there, they now can't place the compound down, which sucks to be them, I guess. It sucks that they couldn't get that one sorted. I've got to say, Too Good's roof, by the way, is something you don't see too often, or at least I don't see too often. The use of the ramps, the use of the roofs here, the use of like the I don't know what's the word here. I have a very terrible vocabulary as of late. I can't think of the word. It's like raised. That's what we're looking for. Raised roof pieces here for like shooting floors. So and they're in the core of the base. Rest in peace. Oh, they are so deep. Okay.
So this is what Alton has been working on, but
Yeah,
I don't know if they're just kind of like running out of boom or something. They're going for the rockets at this point. If they ran out of C4,
whoa.
looks like a
Double
defense from the
kill.
rooftop. That's going to be a double kill coming out from Too Good. They just need to get someone actually down there and clear basically all that up. And honestly, this is going to be a good defense for them. They just need to get some doors down. And I think Alton are just done at this point. It's probably going to be Yaz's opportunity to try and steal this one away, but they still have their work cut out for them. With 26 minutes left to go, we know basically more than half the server is at the other raid. This is going to be their best opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. Like, you know, there's no better time than the present to be raiding this base. I mean, Too Good, despite the fact that, hold on, Alton's back in the base now. Bro, I'm gobsmacked that they managed to get in. Jellen's back, so he's on the roof. I don't know how he managed to get on the roof, but he was up there. I think he just got a kill before getting taken out by I Miss Her. We have someone down here who just respawned. I've got no clue how to get on the roof. Dude, some of these guys are magicians, man. Sometimes, like, I can't fathom how people do things sometimes. Like, I feel like he's laddered up there and the ladder's been destroyed, or I feel like he's just, I don't know, man. He's got a bag on the roof or something. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
oh, there's ladders.
Basically, there is the ladder climb up, and I mean, we saw a lot of the roof is dealt with. It looks like, you know, a lot of vents were probably up here, so the spawns might just be the thing that's kind of troubling Too Good. But if Purple can kind of secure all the loot on the ground floor, they might be relatively safe here. But they still have to deal with the second team. It looks like, yeah, now deciding to finally push up. Not Concerned is going to push into the compound, and so another threat is showing up. But Too Good, they've kind of stabilized. They're getting everyone respawned. They just need to kind of take their time here and play this one slow.
They really do. I mean, you're just saying that is pushing, but I feel like the reason they haven't pushed into this base is because Alton had been trying to get the flank on them and is kind of holding them at bay. I mean, they are sending rockets in. They are kind of raiding, but... Or actually, I lied. They are raiding. Confidently raiding. But I seriously feel like, it doesn't exactly have a chance here. Alton's going to be probably pressing this. I mean, they really need this. If Alton want to catch up to the boys, they really need this TC. So I'd be expecting these guys to go hard right now, trying to chuck a boys and let everyone else do the dirty work for them.
Yeah, in the time the boys were able to pick up like 50, 60 points, Alton only picked up like 10. So there's a huge difference here. Alton needs to at least get the PvP kills for themselves. Looks like Prosto is going to try and get up onto the rooftop and might have actually won out on that duel. And so roof control going away essentially. Never mind, not on the rooftop. He's
Oh,
outside on the compound. Finally, VGA ends up going down, but not by who he thought it was going to be. With the amount of teams that were there, it was ultimately Koi, who I think when we first joined on that raid, were the team that was actually in. They got evicted, and then they had to come back. They were the squad that was running back from base, I believe, but ultimately Koi were able to snipe that one away. I'm wondering if it was like maybe a rocket snipe. Some people pick that one up.
It could have been, or it could have been like a silly C4. Like he could have just ran in with one C4 and found the TC somehow that was exposed, and then just threw it for his life. You know, you don't see him here, but that was an amazing play. I was honestly not expecting Koi to find this. I was genuinely thinking it was FX or Boys who was getting that TC. We're going to be heading back over here, back to Too Good's base. Like you were just saying this before, by the way, about the roof control. At the time you were talking about that, Alton was all on their platform, so it was just again another visual thing where we're seeing people on there. Because I thought the same thing. I thought Alton had roof control, but then we moved just a tad bit, and I just seen that every other Alton player was on the other side of the base.
Oh man, yeah, perspective. They do have actually one player inside, so that is not perspective throwing us off. Best armor is in there, and Too Good are still running in for bags on the outside. So things are looking a little bit bad for them. Oh, he just got cleared out.
He killed himself to the C4. He went down, and I don't know who downed him. It might have been Gnome. And then the C4 exploded, and he was gone. Oh, he was going down. He was planning on going down. That's an interesting way.
He was stuck without like a ladder or something. It was just inside the base. Yeah, I don't know. But Alton now have an opportunity. They've got Gellin and Nikita coming in. Too Good though. Still have a player outside trying to be active inside of the compound right now. Multiple threats. We got two teams basically on this base, but Too Good have been able to respawn. They're back up on the roof. They've got people kitted up. Here is Yado. It's gonna be Prosto. It's going for the rocket boom and not finding anything
HP. Guy went from 100 to 15 HP. Wow.
I mean, you were talking about it, right? Sometimes you just have to send that player in, give his life for the effort to get the TC.
I sacrificed my own life for the TC.
You can see him. He also had the presence of mind, right? He was like placing down ladders to try and block people from coming in behind him. So he's taking things slow. He wants to make sure that he secures this for his squad right now, but slow is not the best way to go about this, and especially if you have to take out a door that was already exposed on the outside. That's the unfortunate thing, right? When you're there inside and you just don't have that same kind of information. But he is slowly but surely making headway through the space on the outside, though. He does have the rest of his squad starting to rocket in. We do have some repairs coming in, but
that was some nice repairs.
Yeah, that will block the rocket from the core. Unfortunately, though, it's kind of ramping HP on our build. It's not going to be instantly full HP, so even though you do get them down, you can get clearly cleared out.
Yeah, progressive repairs, or I don't actually know what the specific add-on's called, but it's been a great addition. Honestly, I love that addition to Base Invaders. Honestly, when I found out about it, I was so excited because I was like, yes, I no longer have to sit here and watch the TC get exposed only to be repaired by a full wall and cop another 4 to 12 C4 to get.
Yeah, here's an armored wall for your efforts. But you can see, the rockets are still coming in from at this point. Too Good. They only have 3 members in base. There we go. Diane is back in. Alton have slowed down just a bit. I'm wondering what's going on their side. It does seem like one member of Too Good was actually able to push out there. I don't know if he's actually kitted. Maybe picked up a few kills for himself at that point.
I think Purpley just absolutely beamed. I watched him. We're gonna have to go back on a replay, but I swear to God, Purpley was at full HP and just copped like a double headshot body shot and he got smacked by someone else, and I don't know who it was. That was funny. Might have been Alton. To be fair, this base, the more I look at it, right, from the two sides that it is just all doors. Now, I feel like, before I start coughing my lungs up here, this is just another version of the Advent calendar base. It's the more advanced Like it's like combining two Christmas chocolate advent calendars. You know, have
Yeah,
you ever
I
done
think
that?
that's why it's so important that it looked like things were looking a little bit bad for Too Good, right? Because someone had dealt with their roof. We saw that there were ladders up. Alton were able to get up there, and they actually dealt with a lot of the roofs. For Too Good, they had to actually put down some new beds. So those are three of them at the very least are new beds up here on the roof. And so Too Good finally have stabilized. Yat is no longer here, which kind of leads me to believe that they might actually be getting raided right now.
Sorry, yeah, quite potentially. Um, maybe. Hold on. I'm not hearing booms in the direction of their base, so maybe not. Maybe they just don't have respawns. Maybe they're gonna go focus elsewhere. You know, who knows? Maybe they're just crafting boom to come back and start raiding this base. I mean, Alton is clearly out of booms. You know, you've got one person here on their raid platform. The rest of them are coming from their base location. These guys could very well be out of boom.
This is just a full heal, though. I mean, if you had to go back to get Boom, I mean, it's GG
Yeah,
because
it's
Too
pretty.
Good have
Yeah,
basically fully repaired their base at this point. So there's no point to go back to base to craft more Boom to try and come back. But Too Good have already pushed out. They're dealing with all the raid platforms. Looks like Macaroni or Titanium is out here, getting rid of all the beds, and Alton. They're kind of straggling back on over here. We'll see if Too Good maybe has some Boom of their own, but I believe that they might have actually taken all their boom over to that other raid. F1 kills come back here. So
yeah.
both of these teams might actually be running dry.
Yeah, it could seem like it. I mean, at the end of the day, the best they can get out of this is the PvP points. And if we look at the map, like it's quiet as I'm going to be under a very heavy suspicion that everyone is kind of out of boom at this point in time. Because I mean, they've raided bases where people have just wasted. Like prime example is that the Koi's raid. You know, when they got the TC of whose base was it again? Like there was so much
A
boom waste.
VGA.
Yeah, VGA's base. I reckon, right, that there was probably at least I would have to say the bare minimum 200 explosives used on that base. And I'm talking like rocket
Minimum.
C4. Very bare minimum.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
This is the moment where like you're churning out your pockets. You're like, all right, boys, show me what you got, and it's just like some coins and like a piece of lint at this point. As we go back over to this side, oh, the boys have found the next target. So we thought maybe players were kind of running dry, but the boys definitely have not. And for a squad that were able to come in, steal a couple raids, I'm not surprised that they actually still have Boom remaining with 16 minutes left to go.
the boys, well, particularly Mango, the teams that he manages to get together always have some considerable skill when it comes to farming. Like these guys prioritize mostly sulfur over metal and stone. During the grace period we call it, and the fact that we're watching a scrap alley go somewhere. Sorry, the fact that they have boom does not surprise me in any way, shape, or form. For me, it doesn't matter how many bases they've raided, but like it's just the fact that they farm so much during the grace period.
They were also able to pick up an entire patrol helicopter loot. So
They
I
sure
don't know
were.
exactly what you get out of there, but I mean, you have to imagine sizable amounts of boom. And so it looks like the next target is going to be Team Koi FXX. They're inside of their base right now. I'm wondering if they're cooking something up to try and maybe come for the counter here. For FXX, though, if they want to try and get the win, well, like you said earlier on, Sushi, their only way to do it is to take out our top two. They need to take out the boys and Alton.
Exactly. That's if they want a fighting chance. I mean, they are our fifth place team right now. You know, they are some fan favorites. FX is up there with some of the fan favorite teams. I mean, we're looking at Wide and what's this currently trying to flank this. I mean, actually, you were just saying this. You're wondering what Koi was cooking up. And I was going to mention that they were cooking up that little, side hustle. You see them coming from the side, bro? Like, they wanted the smoke and they went out and seeked it. They have it. And it seems like they might have bit off a little bit more than they could chew.
Yeah, the
And the
boys' numbers
boys,
kind of spread out here, so they're not going to leave themselves vulnerable to someone swinging and taking out two. We do have Hamstick coming in from one side, spotted out. That's going to be Mango going down. It's one player without a kit, it looks like, and so Hamstick might be able to find an opportunity here. K is trying to respond. You can actually see almost all the members of the boys dealing with this one. Valeria coming into the flank and helping out K. they do end up dealing with that defender. P is out here though, but it's White X again playing far anchor for his squad all the way in the back, trying to deal with this one right now. So for the boys, they have been slowed down a little bit on this raid, but Koi are staying proactive here on the defense.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, for a second there, Valeria, I don't know why, but I was reading Boys' Koi, and I'm like, I was gonna mention something about the fact that the boys didn't kill them would be one of the worst decisions they could make, because, if they don't kill a naked, right, and that naked's not actively going for kits, to me, that seems like that person is just relaying information, telling them, giving locations, call outs, kind of like what they, do in Valorant. I'm sure you've played a couple of Valorant games where you've got the guy that doesn't has the the least eco, so always doing his own eco round because
Always
he doesn't have
dead,
enough
but
money.
always common.
He's always
You hear
calling
him?
out
He's on your
people. Yeah,
left.
he's like,
They're
one
on
shot,
A?
bro.
No, they're not.
The
Like-
planting.
Oh boy. All right, it looks like the boys will be able to continue their boom. They do still have 2 raids going on with only a few teams remaining at this point. Team Koi, they don't, it doesn't seem like they have to worry about FXX. FXX has still been in their base. They have not pushed out yet or done anything. They might be on another side of the map currently, but you have to imagine if you hear boom, you run towards it. Like it's right. You hear boom, you run towards it, right? To see if you can make any plays. 2 members inside the compound for Koi going down. Boys into the breach right now. Link is here on the left-hand side, and he does trade for 1, but Dwayne will go ahead and secure that. Belly might be able to clean up the rest of the compound, but Kai8 is coming in from the other side to try and get an angle, help out his teammate. Dwayne brings him down to 16 HP, and Belly's still alive, but not for long, it seems.
Dwayne seems like he is a pretty exceptional PvPer. As you can see there, he just got another kill, adding to the leaderboard right now. I don't know how this guy's managed to survive. He had pretty much all of the Koi team, especially the flanks from behind on this guy, and he's just absolutely decimated. He just killed the entire Koi team, pretty much.
Yeah,
on
and
his
he was
own.
down to 16 HP. He was 16 HP, so I feel like he was maybe spamming the med kit that entire time to keep himself topped off. We've got a raid going on over here. It looks like the boys getting raided by FXX. They are inside, and it's going to be F1 kills coming out from the boys. Now for them, this is actually great. They're in the lead. I can't imagine that there's enough boom here for XXX to try and get through this efficiently. They're trying their best, but for the boys, they'll get raid defense points, they'll get PvP points.
They will be for sure. I mean, we were wondering where FX was. And, now we found out. I think these guys might be going for a core wipe. Now what's considered a core wipe is where they just take out all the walls that lead into core, and then they're like surrounding, and then just do like an inside out kind of thing to try and get rid of the floors above and to get rid of some stability. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite ways to raid if it's not a foundation wipe. Like, look at how efficient that is. Look at how effective that is. It might be, a funnel. Straight to TC!
No, but the boys, they were able to defend. They were able to clear that one out. They just need to build. Someone needs to go build. Find a hammer. Someone, please. Building plan and hammer. Right now, your TC is exposed, but unfortunately for FXX, they only have 1 player. No, he just ended up getting cleaned out. Oh my god, that would have been huge.
Bro, that would have been absolutely bloody huge, man. Holy Jesus. I think Strappy knows. Strappy might know the TC's there because he's feelining it, my dude.
Oh, Kai8 though is here. He's actually gonna trade for it. So Strappy, unless he stands up, is not gonna have an opportunity. I don't see anyone inside. I don't see anyone repairing. That TC is still exposed. Get in there with your AK. Start shooting. Even if you don't have boom, just get rid of it. And that's Alton's actually key to victory. Maybe even for 2 good if they can pick up a TC.
Well, if anyone gets in here right now, honestly, that TC is as good as seen, dude. Like, I genuinely, right, was under the impression that, this wasn't the boys' base. I didn't even notice that was the boys there. I thought FX had that in the bag.
Oh no, the gate's left open. Straffy ends up getting picked up, I believe, by FXX. And they still haven't repaired. TC's still there. Oh my god, someone just needs to...
It is in.
There we go.
He got it. There it is. Dude.
Oh.
He got it. What a save, and now he's repairing this guy. Wow. What a moment. Straffy managing to get the down on K right now. Maybe they're going to be pushing in. I don't think they know. They definitely don't know. No, they definitely don't know. Or they would have shot that twig.
and they need to find
Wow.
the boom. They need to find the boom as well to try and get through these walls. Now we have to remember, like you said, it's progressive repairs, progressive builds, and
Yeah.
so if they want to, they can get back through. But unfortunately for them, they ended up getting wiped while they were inside of the base, while the C4 was still ticking. So we don't quite have that information, but they are inside here right now. Mango trying his best to defend, goes for the 3v1, but he will, of course, end up losing out on that one. Hickstar bleeding out on the ground, should get picked up. Never mind, he's healing. For now, FXX are back in the base, but they need someone with some C4K on the outside with the defense. He's going to go for the peak himself, but he's brought down to 26 HP. The three members of FXX kind of cowering on the inside. They don't know that just behind that wall,
They're literally
just
one
behind
wall,
that
yeah.
wall, right there is the TC.
You honestly sometimes feel like you can like slap them in the direction of where that TC is. Honestly, this is what I was saying. It is so effective raiding in those straight lines like that. Like, man, they found that TC. The fact they don't know it's there is a different story. You see here the boys, they just WK this guy. Strappy's still alive, getting a kill. I think Strappy finally getting taken out there by White X. Wow. What a moment we just had.
Oh man, FXX are gonna look back at the VODs and
They're gonna be
it's gonna
so
be
mad.
pain, so much pain. You know, I'd be down bad at that point. But more repairs coming in now for the boys squad. Walls going down as well as they end up healing. They're still getting shot up by rockets, but we know that is nowhere near their TC. It is literally on the other side of the base.
And I think 7 minutes is going to be a little less than complimentary time to really be raiding this base. I mean, it's a little unfortunate to the raiders of this base. I mean, they were so very close, but the boys, I think they're going to be taking the dub. I mean, they're what, like 74 points in the lead to the boys, and easily over 100, yeah, 200 almost points for everyone else. These guys, I think they've got the dub right in the bag right now.
Yeah, unless if someone still has some C4, I can just kind of go through and do that again. It was so close. When we first joined onto this raid, I was like, oh yeah, this is so good for the boys. They'll get some PvP kills. They'll get some points that way in the raid defense. And then it came down to their exposed TC. Oh man, if it wasn't for that defense, FXX would have full knowledge of where it was. We'll see if they've got anything left in the tank, but for the boys, it's all about just holding on. There's almost no opportunity for Alton here. We saw them kind of running out of steam on whose base was it up top? That was Too Good's base, right?
Too Good's
That
base,
was up
yeah.
top or on the south side that they were trying to raid.
Yeah.
This time around, though, it looks like Alton are going to be the beneficiaries of a raid. Too Good turning their eyes towards them.
They certainly are. I mean, it's only fitting. These guys live so close to each other, you know. And I mean, I would be returning the favor of a raid any day of the week, honestly. You see Mario here, he's a very, aside from him dying, he's a very good raider. I've seen for the most part that whenever Mario is in a team, usually he is on the front lines with the C4 ready to raid. You know, he's very proficient, so to say, like to raid base, especially new bases. We can see here that this was that Abs Enjoyer that just got a double kill, I believe. Dude's absolutely cracked. Naked AK. He's going in for a third kill.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, this guy's clutching up, bro.
Yeah.
He's like,
this is nice for Team Alton. They do need the PvP kills because it's been the boys who have been able to just PvP that are basically up to the 60 some odd point lead that they currently have. For Team Alton, though, they just need to hold on. 5 minutes remaining here, and they won't be able to secure second place. Too Good. It was a little bit of a slow start for them. They ended up fail rating, I believe, earlier on. They were at 366 in third place right now. HQM in fourth. So that third place position, it can still get sniped away by either HQM or FXX. For Koyan, yeah, though, they're just happy to be here.
yeah, they're getting a participation prize. I mean, to be fair, I wanted to say that I kind of, you know, predicted what the top two teams are going to look like, the boys and Alton, but I did say that HQM would be following it at third place. I was a little wrong. I mean, they're not exactly that far behind, but
wow.
you know, wait,
I like this.
This
So
is, yeah.
Alton just, you know, they defended their base. and now they're instantly back on this raid. They F1 killed and came back. The raid platform was still up, so they're able to continue basically where they left off. It looks like no one from the boys actually tried to push out and deal with that. K will go ahead and make some emergency repairs to his base. He is blocked off of that one for now, so he's going to have to put a doorway down. There we go.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just wait out a little bit. There you go. Just need to wait another second, and then he could have actually put down a full wall.
I did not know you could do that. I genuinely thought that that little block stopped you from placing anything. The fact you can place a door frame of that is news to me. That's actually incredible. You can see the boys are now dropping down, trying to get loot, trying to get kits. The repairs are coming in as fast as they can. I mean, this is good strategy that they got going right here. Repairing as best they can, because, you know, again, there might just be one rocket, but that's one rocket that's not going any deeper into that base.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Alton ended up getting countered here on their raid platform, because we heard rockets before, but now everything is absolutely slowed down. Boys are just gonna go ahead and fully repair this base on up like nothing happened. Oh man, it was so close, Sushi. It was so close, FXX. They just needed to not die, and if they had known, if they had just survived, it would have been basically Alton in the lead.
Dude, it would have been. Dude, I feel like FX they're gonna be spewing, honestly. Like they're gonna ooh, they're here! They're here! Dude, they're here, the whole squad's here!
Yeah, they scrapped together all the change they had in their pockets. We'll see what kind of boom they have remaining here. As K tries to push out some defense, he ends up getting instantly cleaned up. C4 going down now. They're gonna go through doors.
I think they know.
I
think they know. I actually think they genuinely know. If he starts putting C4 on that wall, I think they know. I have a sneaking suspicion here that FX is they're currently losing this battle right now. Oof, that didn't sound good. Wait, he's alive! Shakti's alive! Dude, he clutched that one up. Is that on?
He ends up surviving. He's going to be able to pick up Pixar as well, but they are a little bit slow on this because they are inside the compound wall of. Here we go. The C4 is going down on the wall. 2 minutes remaining here.
And
but no, the defenders. Dwayne drops down with Mango. White X showing up as well, and FXX a second go at this base. Unfortunately, though, the boys are so quick. Hashirama cleaned up a few, but Valeria is still alive. HQM now have shown up, and everyone has realized if we want a shot, we need to get rid of the boys. Now it's only Valeria and White X up for the boys inside of their base. A lot of boom going down, and we know where the TC is.
And it's so painful that we know and they don't, and it's painful seeing them fail a raid. You know, with less than 2 minutes or 90 seconds, so to say, left in the tournament this weekend, man. It's just unfortunate seeing that FX, you know, just fumbled the bag.
They are on the right side of the base, though. That's the important part, right? They're on the right side of the base. If they can just spam everything they've got, throw the bean cans, throw the satchels, throw everything at this one side of the base, you might be able to get it. But the boys are still putting together a very strong defense. The problem is we know that the TC is on the ground floor. They need to be on the ground floor. They need to be inside their compound, or what's left of it, to try and defend this one. But they are starting to get through these walls right now. HQM.
Wait, HQM might be clutching this.
Is this the wall?
No, it's not. I don't think so. No, it's not. It's not. They're close. I think it's one of the walls, though, in that room. It's one
I
of
think
the
it might be off to the
walls.
left.
It might be. What's that we? It might be. I don't know.
That this is hard side. I'm pretty sure it's on the hard side wall, not the soft side wall.
That's what I'm thinking. What side are we? It is. It's on the hard side wall.
It's that hard side wall, right?
Yeah. So it's to the left. It's literally to the left on this here.
Oh my god,
I think they're raiding.
So close.
They were raiding. Yeah, they're raiding the right door. They're raiding the right wall on this side. Oh my god.
Okay, never mind. So it's not this wall. Oh,
no, it's the one to the right. It's the one to the right. No, it's the one to the right. And it was 3 from the front and to the right. So it's this wall here to our right, immediate right. But then, you know, 5 seconds left. They're not going to be getting it.
Gigi, go show us. Where's the TC again? Gigi, where's the TC? Come on. No, go back. I need to know. Oh boy. But there you go. There we go. It was so close. multiple opportunities to take out our leaders, but the boys will just survive long enough in the end. They will walk away with the victory. And oh my God, I am so glad we were able to join on board with that. FXX were so close, but ultimately, it's going to be the boys surviving with a fairly comfortable lead, more comfortable than what happened there, especially up against Team Alton, who will end up in second place. But let's take a look at what the boys were able to do throughout today's events. 3 raids completed. They ultimately get the raid defense as well, but it's the PvP coming in for them. 365 kills.
Bro, that is incredible amount of kills just to see, specifically from this team who sat at the top of the leaderboard. I mean, I had really high hopes for these guys. I didn't expect Valeria, the person we've seen the least of, by the way, to have 112 kills. We were mostly seeing, Mango, White X, Dwayne, and Kayate. Am I saying that right? I might be butchering the name.
I have no idea, right? I'm thinking it's a whenever we mess up a name, they let us know. They let us
Maybe
know.
they let you know. Maybe they
Yeah.
let you know. They never let me know. They're like, yeah, nah, screw it. We'll let Sushi screw up the names for like next several months. Honestly, dude, the kills are absolutely incredible though. Like White X here, man, 86 kills. Dwayne with 58. Kaetic with 53. There's not much difference there between those two. Mango with 32 and K, I'm assuming is the base builder. Now, I say this because most times, or more times than not, the person with the least amount of kills is the base builder. Now, K has made an absolute, like, you've seen that base. That is a strong base. The TC placement, really, really good considering no one found it. It's
Yeah.
there, it's exposed, but no one got it. FX gonna be fuming on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
a lot of it, right, is that meta mind game, right? Like, no one's gonna have it on the base level, right, on the first floor, right? It can't be
exactly.
there. If it wasn't for like the urgency, I think, right, people would have taken their usual route of raiding, getting into the shell, getting into the inner peak downs, and starting to deal with the base from there. But because of how much time was left, FXS just kind of had to go for like a hail mary and try to, be as quick as possible instead of as efficient as possible, or with their boom. But yeah, congratulations, boys will walk away with the end. If we can, let's go ahead and take a look at what Alton were able to do, because again, even though they're in second place, we didn't get to see as much of them today. We did get to see them, I believe, unfortunately at the end, fail rating on Too Good, who were able to put up a very strong defense up against Too Good. And yeah, it doesn't look
Yeah.
like the stats work, but Alton, congratulations for second place. Too Good, the team that I was looking forward to actually find themselves in the top 3 with 376 points.
You did well. You didn't technically, you weren't technically wrong when you said you had high hopes for these guys. I mean, they were what, seventh place when we were talking about this in the PvP phase about when I asked you the question, who do you think was going to win? And really well. I mean, third place to me is still a dub because that's top 3 teams, especially with their points like 376. A lot of that was it wasn't PvP, was it? Exactly. It was
Um,
like raid defense and raiding.
yeah, I believe when we first joined on board with Too Good, they fail rated their first raid, right?
Yeah.
And so that kind of sucks. Like, imagine if they were able to actually build off the momentum that you get typically when you get that first raid, but losing all your boom, having to refarm, having to recraft, and then find another target. But that's the kind of thing that we saw out of Too Good, that there was still some resiliency, right? They didn't chalk it up as a loss. A lot of times, especially when you're playing kind of vanilla, it's like if you lose out all your boom, you go all out on a raid. That's and then you kind of fail raid. That's kind of it for the wipe, right? But
Yeah,
here
yeah,
at
you're
Base
done.
Invaders, you've got a 3-hour event. You just go ahead and lay it all out on the field. Too Good were able to do that. They were able to bounce back and go to their next raid, and from there they started to build a momentum. Or unfortunately, it wasn't enough to catch up to the boys. But we also have to remember the boys were a little bit lucky in how they were able to counter a lot of the raids.
I mean, yeah, like have a look at this, right? They didn't take heli at all, right? And that can be confirmed, looking back at the VOD. They snaked 5 crates from heli. I think it was the second heli that was taken because they snaked it from was it who was it? I can't remember the teams fighting there. But they snaked
I
the thing anyways. It was who's Kaz, and there was 2 other teams there on that heli, and they
pinged it.
snaked those crates. Ping diff.
I,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
You
Ping
know,
did
to
point
get
out a
those
little bit
5
early
points.
on, so yeah, I'm not surprised if we forgot the name real quickly. But yeah, they were able to sneak that one in, and that was I mean, it was such a scary position for them to be in because yeah, who's Kaz ended up coming in full 5 man on the scrappy. They had the high ground. They had the hill to peek down on, but again, it just came down to the amazing resiliency of the boys and just some great individual plays. I forget if who it was, but I want to say it was Kaye who was able to hold down one side, Mango holding another on his own island as well from teams that were coming in to try and counter. And yeah, it was multiple players on that squad who made huge differences throughout the day.
Yeah, absolutely clutch moments from all these guys and for all the teams. And one last thing I wanted to mention about the boys' team, and I don't see this very often, but if we just glance down to the items gathered, that is some dedication to have gathered 1.1 million items.
Yeah, I mean, we are on a 20x, but still, yeah, 1.1 million, and you know they had a lot of loot to pick through as well because of all the raids that they were able to complete. So yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to the boys. And just to finish off with the leaderboard, we had HQM in fourth place with 355 points. These guys did pretty well. We've seen a lot of them during both the raid and PvP period. FX, our fifth place team, I had really high hopes for these guys. I always have high hopes for FX. You know, these guys, I'd have to say, you know, for me, because I know these players over like, you know, my 2 years of being here at Base Invaders, you know, I get to know the guys. FX has been probably one of my personal favorite teams, you know, throughout, you know, the last 2 years. You know, always high hopes for them. Koi, these guys did pretty well, 272 points, you know, keeping themselves in sixth place. You know, we didn't really see a whole lot of them. I mean, that one raid was probably the only significant thing of Koi that I remember seeing. You know, the only significant presence they had. But still, to get 272 points, they did absolutely amazing. And then, yeah, seventh place team here, yeah. These guys, the only presence again for them, I feel, would be the raid against Alton, their attempted raid. Sorry, against Alton, counter raiding, my bad. Oh, it wasn't even them, sorry, too good, my bad, too good. The raid against them was absolutely incredible. I mean, we've seen them in PvP, but they weren't like, there's nothing too outstanding for them during PvP. I mean, you've seen them getting absolutely destroyed. You know, you couldn't hold it to them. But these guys
Yeah,
are our top seven. I'm sorry.
no. Don't worry about it. I mean, I think this was kind of a different take, right? Because I think players are still adjusting to the hard point being active again. And it was kind of great to see that we had a lot of early action going down there. HQM was one of the teams I believe that was involved in all of the hard point action throughout the attack phase. And I think that kind of changed up how like the density of bases we had. I think you and I were both mentioning it, right? During the pre-show, how spread out all the bases were when typically you see a lot of groupings, but we didn't have like a grouping larger than like 3 or 4 bases in an area.
Yeah, no, you're right. We had, I think, literally, yeah, the most group we had was the 5 bases at water treatment. And I'm actually genuinely surprised because most of the time we had bases just clumped up around launch site. We didn't see that at all in NA. Like, there's probably like 2 bases right at launch site. That is so surprising to me. And when the hardpoint was introduced after Trust and Rust, like, we had so many bases built around the 2 hardpoints we had active in the first like round after Trust and Rust. The fact that there was no clumpings around either locations is like incredible to me. You know, and to be fair, we had 20 teams, but the clumps were just well, everyone was spread. It's the first time I feel that we've ever had like such a spread like this. You know, but in saying that,
Yeah.
there wasn't a great deal of action. You know, that's one thing. I do like to see is a lot of action, and I know that I like trash talk everyone for building on top of each other. But if it wasn't for people building on top of each other, we wouldn't have as much crazy stuff happening. But
Yeah, the roof capping and the rockets from roofs and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, today was a fantastic event. I mean, we kind of baited people out, right? We were on this weird countdown 8v8, 7v7, 6v6, 5v5, and then 4v4s up back up to 6v6s again. But every week, things do change up. So if you want an opportunity, I mean, just keep an eye out on all of our socials. join the Discord to get any updates on what's going on here for Base Invaders. Again, it is presented by Rustoria and sponsored by Rusty Pot. So thank you guys so much for everything you do and for allowing us to do what we do here at Base Invaders. But Sushi, any last words before we close things out?
Honestly, no, you pretty much covered it all. I want to thank you for being here with me today and allowing me to come along on the adventure of our NA 6v6s.
I had an amazing time. But yeah, that is gonna do it for us. Make sure, of course, like I said, that you are checking in with our socials. If you think you've got the chops to bring in your squad to compete here for Base Invaders, join us next week as well. We will be announcing what the next format will be, how many players on the team, fairly shortly. So that is why you're going to want to check in with the socials. But that will do it for us. For Sushi and myself, for Rustoria and for Rustpot, thank you all so much for joining in. Until next time, guys, have a great week.